All right. We should be live now. So good to see everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Spitballin Cards Rare Auction Preview tonight. This is a fun thing we might start doing where we're looking at all these auctions ending, whether they're big, maybe we'll do the premieres, maybe we'll just do the weekly. We're going to be looking at some auctions and our thoughts around what is a good deal, what's a bad deal, what's interesting, what's not interesting. So we have everybody but Ty this week. Is Ty joining later today?
I think he's going to be by later tonight. Yeah.
Cool. Ty will have some good thoughts, different thoughts than us. So with that being said, are you guys seeing my screen?
We sure are.
We have sorted this bad boy for this week's auction for baseball cards only, obviously. And we are doing it $100 or greater, only so we can cut a lot of the noise out. Not because we're trying to be elitist, but there's like over 1,000 listings versus like 400 listings. And those 600 listings are all under like $30. So that's why we did it this way. So without further ado, anybody have a card they want to talk about first?
I want to talk about that.
I just want to say that there is some riffraff under that amount. I just got an outbid notice on a Keston Hero that I bid on. So I'll be watching that one closely to see if I can come back. And it might have to make a double-digit bid to get it, though.
So I'm going to open up a second tab so we can look at, I'm going to eliminate this price. So that way I can search while we still have the correct one. So you're looking at a Keston Hero. Which one are you looking at?
Yeah. Well, man, I don't want to give away my secrets, but there's a nice blue Bowman Chrome Auto.
Oh, yeah.
That's currently at $6.
These are getting pretty expensive.
Yeah. So hopefully I don't have to battle with too many people in the chat, but I might go to 7. Just so you know.
Jeff, you got to throw in a bid on that 84 tops like retro auto too. I mean, look at that thing. That's awesome.
It's a good looking card.
Yeah, boy. My Hero shelf in the closet's getting pretty heavy.
Well, I think it probably should be a box and not a shelf, but that's okay. That's up to you.
All right. Well, we don't want to scare anybody away, so why don't you go to some good cards?
Yeah, let's get away from Keston Hero. Maybe that's the best way to go. Anybody else like potentially bidding? Obviously, there's real risk in sharing with everybody what you're going to be looking at. But is there anything that we think is intriguing?
There's a card from the 80s I've always wanted. Well, there's several of them. But the Johnny Ray Barry Bonds era right there.
That is awesome.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so absurd. It's just he's got a bunch of autos, obviously, but the pops on all of them, even Phil's Tiffany, are fairly high. But this is probably like the rarest Barry Bonds auto, and it's not Barry Bonds
card. Yeah, for sure.
Are these that tough to find?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came in like those prepackaged sets, and there are not very many of these.
So for me, you guys know my bread and butter, which is mostly like 1995 and forward, I would say, is what I usually pay attention to. So that era is a little bit different. So that's 1987 Don Russ opening day.
Yes.
Oh, not opening that. Opening day. Let's see how many there are. Is that a card you ever buy, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. If that one's like a 6 or whatever, and you can see the price is already crazy. I don't care about the grade.
170.
Yeah.
And that one's an 8. Pretty good grade.
Okay. Look. Yeah, my eyes aren't what they once were.
That's a generous 8, though.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that edge and corner.
To be fair, though, those cards all came in like cellophane wrapped. Like they were in like
corners wrapped tight, like vacuum sealed.
Yeah, there were like 4 packages in each box. So yeah, those bottom corners, that's just how they looked. But yeah, I would like a copy of this card. I've said before, I want a copy of the 89 Upper Deck, that Murphy reverse negative. I really want one of those, but I haven't gotten around to getting either one. But yeah, give me this in like an authentic slab. It's got like a crease on it. I'd love it.
Cool. All right, that's a good choice. I have my own watch list, but I'll let Phil share his thoughts first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't even look like Barry Bonds to me. But anyways, for probably various reasons. But yeah, I don't know. How about, can we do a sort based on best value, Scott?
Maybe. How do you sort
like
that?
Top right, where it says earliest year.
Featured?
Best value.
There is a best value. Who determines? This is like their own thing?
It's based on their own.
Calvin might be using rookie cards. Best value in the whole auction right now.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Little different.
This actually is pretty good value. Craig Biggio Hall of Fame 24 karat. Pretty good price so far.
If you scroll down, yeah. If you scroll down far enough, I saw a George Kirby from 2019 Bowman Draft, BGS 10 orange auto. I think I might have had mine set at like 500 plus, but
I'm interested to see what happens with this Jason Bay Super. Super seem to be popping off a little bit right now. Okay, which card do you want me to show, Phil?
Click on that Bonds. That one's interesting.
Okay. Signed game used baseball.
Oh.
Did the game used baseballs do anything for you guys?
Better than not having one, I guess, on a card, but not a ton.
What do they do? Just such a small piece. You don't.
My beef with the game used baseballs is they'll just pull a random pitch in the dirt to not Barry Bonds and then put it in the Barry Bonds card. Just
I'd like to
Not
see
for-
some laces in there.
Not
Like
from
a
any
game you-
particular game, event, or season?
basically, I wonder if they give any disclaimer on the back of this card.
Oh, jeez.
No, I don't see anything. Nope. In a game, doesn't even say a Giants game. So this could be used by the Colorado Rockies. Everybody wants
Game used ball?
that. Oh, that's cool.
I
So-
have a little bit of a dilemma with Bonds. I'm trying to add to what I own. I sold one of my 86 Topps Tiffany's in a PSA 10 recently, and I'm trying to add something back. But a lot of the stuff I run into is stuff kind of like this, like number to 25 or 10 or 100. I'm trying to go after stuff after like the 90s expensive inserts. So like 2000 to like 2005 for Bonds. He's got quite a bit of autograph stuff in that time frame and stuff that's serial numbered, but I just don't know the right piece to go after. I don't think this is it, but it has my my birth date on there, 10/25, which is cool. So
Happy birthday, Phil.
it's the day after my birthday. So it's actually Ty sent me this tequila, which you guys didn't send me anything. So I got this delivered, and Ty on the phone was really cool. And
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
enjoying it now for the first time. Yeah.
I sent you a text, but I think it had a typo in it. So that, you know.
I couldn't find it, Chris. I'm like,
good
I
one.
think Chris tried to say happy birthday. I just couldn't find where you did, so I didn't respond.
Oh. That's all right. That's fine.
We're Facebook friends, Phil, so I should have known it was your birthday.
That's how I knew. That's why I sent him that meme. Very fancy birthday.
I will say one thing also about this card that doesn't thrill me is how dark the auto space is. Like it's a little tricky to see the actual auto on this card.
It's also done in black. Is that black or blue ink? I can't even tell.
Yeah.
Some people put a premium on his full autograph where he spells out his full name.
Okay.
He's actually done that quite a bit in Topps this year.
Yeah.
And he's had some really expensive one-of-ones go from, inserts from random sets go for 10 to 15K plus just with that, that full auto.
Okay. Phil, there are a couple comments here for you. Abel in Vegas says you share a birthday with Juan Soto.
Is that why you like Soto so much, Phil?
And Pedro Martinez, two of my favorite players. Yeah.
Nice.
Same birthday.
I would have loved you to post a video like looking doing something similar to what Soto did. That would have been pretty funny.
That was
And
pretty good.
Pedro would like to know if that's a high proof tequila.
Yeah, most tequilas are like 80 to 90. Yeah, this is 80 proof.
Nice. All right.
So here's a card that I think is pretty cool. I love Essentials Credentials. I did not used to like these cards, actually. They've really grown on me. I own a Walker, which is cool. But the way that these work, obviously, is there's 101 of them. And depending on where you're at on the checklist, that's how many of each you have. There's a future and a now. So this is his future, and he's number 11 on the checklist. So he has 11 now and 90 future. But this is a pretty big price so far for McGwire. I don't know what these go for, but this feels pretty strong for the future, which is higher numbered, which is pretty cool. Chris and Jeff, what do you guys think of these cards?
Not much.
Yeah, not much. It shows some nice muscle definition, all natural there on Mark McGwire.
Okay.
We need to
I
get
don't
you guys into 90s cards one of these days. I feel like you're missing out on an era that you should like.
I mean, of the 90s cards that I've seen, which there's some really cool ones, this design doesn't really do it for me.
It
Really?
doesn't. SFO Sox fan is pretty spot on right here. While you were going on about that, I definitely drifted away.
Hey, maybe if you take this serious, people will not leave the chat.
How much how much more collectible would Mark McGwire be if he didn't have that lasting impression that he left on a lot of people? Him speaking in front of Congress saying, "I'm not here to talk about the past." That was his infamous quote, right?
Yep.
In Palmeiro too.
Palmeiro
kind of did something similar,
yeah.
especially with Palmeiro, because at least
he
McGwire,
said, "I did not do steroids." Didn't he say that?
Palmeiro denied it,
and then tested positive. Like, also, two things on McGwire, Phil. The little glasses he had on at that hearing, for some reason, those just I couldn't take him seriously. I just couldn't.
It was like Benjamin Franklin glasses.
Yeah, and he's enormous. I felt like he was just going to crush them in his hands every time he touched them. But he also did do a guest spot on The Simpsons, which was pretty fantastic. So I have no ill will towards Mark McGwire for using whatever he used.
If there's a trio, if there's a trio of generational players from the 90s, he's got to be up there with Bonds and Griffey, correct? Or would he put Frank Thomas ahead of him?
I think Frank Thomas is better. McGwire
had like 1998. McGwire had like that huge, like that's when baseball was at its peak, right?
Yeah. Popularity wise, McGwire would have to be on there. Frank Thomas, definitely a better player.
Yeah.
Cleaner guy.
I'm going at like, remembering, okay, if I'm a Griffey super collector, and I'm going to argue that he was generational. He was the generational player of the 90s. You could go back and pick apart each season and be like, actually, McGwire was more popular for this season, and Barry Bonds was more popular for this season, right? McGwire would be he could be a guy, like if Bonds gets out of reach for a lot of people, he should pull up McGwire a little, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at McGwire.
McGwire's cultural impact was probably greater than all those other players. Like what he did for baseball and for baseball fans in 1998 is really hard to put a statistic to.
Yeah.
And
McGwire has some interesting stats here. 163 OPS plus. Let's start with that. That's pretty awesome. That's one of the best ever. Probably top 20.
Could be better than Derek Jeter, Scott.
Billy Butler better than Derek Jeter. So, but then we can see only 1,600 hits. Still, though, almost 600 home runs, only 1,600 hits. That's pretty crazy. Only 62 WAR, which is pretty crazy. But he didn't play very much. Only 1,800 games. Like we look at Rafael Palmeiro, 3,000 hits, 72 WAR, 132 OPS plus. Talk about a forgotten superstar right here. I would guarantee that a majority of the younger people in the hobby don't even know who Palmeiro is. And there might be some people who think I'm crazy, but I'm actually 1,000% serious on that one.
I don't even know if I would say he's a forgotten superstar. I think he was forgotten while he was playing. Like he never won an MVP. I don't think he ever even finished second. He just compiled. He was an
accumulator. Yeah,
he steadily accumulated. Like he's
like
a really
Machado of their day, but better.
I don't know. I don't think he was better than Machado. But
no, he didn't offer a lot of defensive value.
I think he's better than Machado offensively.
Well, offensively, sure. Yeah.
I'm going to stay out of this one. Why don't we
give Machado some roids though, and he would be right there.
Right?
Chris and Jeff don't like talk about it often, but they are like Machado super fans. It's strange to me. If I ever say it, it's like me with Aaron Judge. If you guys think about Aaron Judge negative, I get pretty defensive. Chris and
I think it's like you with Arenado, because for so long you were just trying to convince everybody that Arenado's that much better than Machado.
I didn't say better, just more collectible. I still kind of believe that.
Oh, Jake Barola is asking the important questions here. Who wins the thickness competition between McGwire and Frank Thomas?
Oh,
Frank Thomas.
Yeah, I think so too. Overall thickness for sure. McGwire also is. McGwire has them. Isn't he? He must. He has the most home runs ever by a player that didn't win MVP, right? Has to.
McGwire?
Yeah, I mean he hit 70 home runs in that season and did not win MVP.
Oh, I thought you meant for a career.
Yeah, I thought you meant for a career too.
In one season, like that was
crazy. Who won MVP that year?
Sosa.
Did he deserve it?
Well, the Cubs made the playoffs and the Cardinals didn't.
60-some home runs, 150.
If this voting happened today, let me show the vote, and then we'll get back to like the whole purpose we're here, which is the auctions. Right. But I don't think Sammy Sosa's winning in the big 2025 if this was the stats. 7 more WAR for McGwire. More home runs. Look at that OPS difference. 1.222 versus 1.024. You know?
Yep. Yeah, he won. He had more RBIs and his team made the playoffs. That was making the playoffs was like a big deal for MVP voters back then.
Huge.
The two voters were just probably the Cardinals, right?
And look at Bonds led the league in WAR, and he's down at 8th place.
That's Wiley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only 37 home runs for Bonds that year, huh?
Yeah.
Look at Greg Vaughn.
But that's
man.
back when Bonds was still stealing bases too. Yeah, almost 30-30.
Yeah, is this pre-roid Bonds? Is this what led Bonds to doing roids?
Yes,
Yep.
this is definitely pre-Roy Bonds.
That's too bad. Someone asked about my jersey, and I was going to tell you guys about it. So here's a Japanese Ohtani jersey.
All right,
really
Detroit
random.
Adams getting mad, so you better put that auction back on.
Oh yeah, let's get that auction back up there.
My mother there's an Amazon store in Idaho Falls, Idaho. And at this Amazon store, everything starts at like $7, and then every day it drops $1. My mom got this jersey for me for $1 at the Amazon store.
Amazon store? What is it? Like they sell returns there? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't wear a Dodgers jersey, but I would wear this jersey because it's just supporting Ohtani. All right, here's back to the auction. I know that SFO of Sox fan mentioned a card that I want to discuss, and that's going to be the highest price of the auction, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Is Shohei Ohtani. This is
That's why people are here. Talk about
red
this
ink
guy.
autograph. This price is pretty mind-numbing to me because this is before the buyer's premium. So add on another $14,000. So it's $84,000 right now. At what point do we realize Ohtani's cards might be a little bit too hot? Or is this not too hot? Like, what? Like, I want to open it to you guys. Like, what do you guys think? Because $84,000 for this card feels a little bit.
Well, you've been
warm
saying
to
that
me.
for the last 2 years, Scott. Then you finally got aboard.
Well, I own his cards and I'm feeling that way right now.
Yeah. So I think where it comes down to is like when I first saw this, I'm like, this is stupid. Are you serious? Who's paying this much? And then I'm like, wait a second. Like, and I started to think about other players. I started to think about Aaron Judge, who just had a PSA 10 version of this card. Yeah, he's only got one version. Ohtani has two. But Aaron Judge just had a PSA 10 red ink that went for close to 30K, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, it was like 26, 27.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then I think about before all this madness last year, which seems like longer than 12 months ago. Where did Ohtani's red ink sell versus his Bowman Chrome Auto Blue? And I'm like, actually, they were pretty comparable. And his blue Bowman Chrome Auto stuff is in this range, right? I know this isn't the best red ink pose, which is probably the more mind-numbing thing. But I think maybe it's all relative. To get a decent auto on card of Ohtani that's numbered from a top brand, it's over 50K. I mean, that's the table stakes now. You've got to settle for Bowman's Best, Finest, something from like Topps Update if you want to pay like closer to 20K.
Also, looks like no BGS 9.5 sales in the last year. So maybe that's a big reason too, is they don't pop up. Has a good red auto.
Sensitive. This is a 10 auto, right?
Yeah, it's actually red too, because a lot of these go pink and then they disappear forever.
Yeah, these heritage autos are really hard to grade too. The PSA 10 pops are usually like low single digits. Looks
People are
great.
spending 10K on unlicensed. In order to spend 5K, to get a rookie auto of Ohtani, that's 5K. You've got to buy the Leaf. You can't even afford a Don Russ optic or Panini, whatever.
Wow.
Let's
All right,
type
if you want to see how the market has changed, let's look at our buddy Cardboard Showcase. Drops this in the chat very casually. The phrase "back in August," like that's not that long ago.
What grade and what heritage auto? Because I know like we have a preference towards the high number because I know two of us here own that card, but this card does tend to go for more. And it was the first one, and it does match a base card. So like there is an argument that this is the better one. I don't think that argument's settled like it is at the Bowman Chrome. So
True.
I think this one goes for more an auction for some reason. So
I don't know. I like the other one better, and I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Oh, you sold it. Oh, you
We
did
did.
sell it. You sold it to Dustin.
We did. Yeah.
Shout out Dustin.
Yeah.
It was a PSA 8 too, wasn't it?
It was a BGS 8.5.
That's what it was.
And it was a rough. The back edges were a disaster. It was probably a PSA 7 if you crossed it. But I mean, obviously worth a lot more. We sold it for more than we paid, and a lot more than we paid, and it's worth a lot more than we sold it for today. So
yeah. Cardboard Showcase said it was April. It was BGS 9.5.
Okay.
So here's a good question.
Yeah.
When am I going to move out of my Otanis, dude? When do you move out of Ohtani? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. I was up late Friday night doing working on my Excel, tracking, doing some bookkeeping of some recent purchases and stuff. And I was curious. I was like, I wonder what my total Ohtani exposure is relative to total cardboard assets and total life assets, right? Like total net worth, really. And it was an uncomfortably high number.
Yeah.
That's starting to make me think okay.
110%.
Exactly. You factor in leverage.
Right.
Yeah, I think it might be wise for me to trim that down a little bit, trade into some other stuff. But yeah, I've got to look into that a little bit more and figure out what to do. But that, I don't know if that might not be the right move, because clearly, I think Chris and Jeff went in pretty aggressive last year with your exposure, where I kind of I went in slowly, methodically, carefully, and Scott eventually kind of jumped all in into the shallow end of a kiddie pool head first. You did that earlier this year, but and what you guys did, Chris and Jeff, certainly panned out, right? So it's I can't say oh, well, you guys didn't understand the risk versus reward. No, clearly you did. You did something right, at least. So
yeah, we'll take that. By the way, I do think, judging by Jeff's expression, you use words that are so big and you're speaking so calmly. I have to feel like we were just insulted there, Jeff, right?
Yeah, you were insulted.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
a little bit of an insult there.
I wasn't even sure.
To be fair,
Yeah.
To be fair, the numbers were exponentially lower last year.
Sure.
I mean, these
when I got my
cards that
cards, they were
are
exponentially
nearing
lower.
triple digits now. Were much lower, factor 5 lower last year.
Yes. I want to point out what Jake Marola here is saying, that I believe he posted there were 28 PSA 10s of Aaron Judge's red ink rookie auto. There are only 6 between both Shoheis. So they're extremely condition sensitive.
Yeah. 2018 Heritage will always be one of my favorite sets of all time, actually.
Yep.
Are both autos live? Do we know off the top of our heads?
Yes, they're both live. Yeah, we had looked into that. What was that, Scott?
That might be a fun product to open if you're feeling dangerous, because obviously it goes for just as much as the Bowman Chrome. So,
yeah. Can we pull that up? Let's pull the auction back up.
Yeah, you can get regular Heritage too. You can find boxes for under 500. For a Heritage high number, you're going to be paying closer to probably 650, 750.
See,
yeah, you got Acuna and Soto were in there too. That
right.
Just the math.
Yeah, what are some mid-end Ohtani's going for?
Actually, I want to ask you about that. This is eBay. I know this is eBay. We'll go back.
I don't know.
These just sold tonight. I want to get your thoughts on it. We had a raw BGS, a raw blue out of 150. We had a raw red out of 25.
What did the blue sell for?
14,500.
Oh, that was okay. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. That was the final. Okay.
The red sold for 12,000. We had this BGS 9.5 gold wave go for 10,000. I'm surprised that didn't go for more. And then we had this autograph for 16,000. This blue Topps Chrome BGS A5, which is the best deal in those price ranges, because I kind of like this red, but it is a debut, but it's number 25. But at the same time, this card's blowing up. Phil and Chris put a gun to my head and told me I had to sell my orange at the National, or I wouldn't have. But this card's going crazy. Which one do you guys think is the best one?
I need to know more about the condition of that blue, because didn't the PSA 10 just hit 40K?
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
They must have known this was not going to gem.
Let's see if we can see anything. There's probably a crease, or maybe it got
centering is not going to be perfect.
Something. There's nothing major that catches my eye.
Oh, he said ungraded near mint as well. So, damn, yeah, I would say that looks like a pretty good buy. Unless I can't read that.
No, there's nothing. I know it's small. I'll get off of it, but no, there's nothing calling out condition. So it could be like a PSA 8, PSA 9 type card.
Yeah.
So, anyways, which one are you taking? Which one of these do you think is the best of value?
The best one is one that you didn't mention that also ended tonight at 8:00 p.m. on eBay.
This one?
I was runner-up in that, so that was a good deal.
I think I was third on this one. I didn't win either. I was
my snipe was 8,576. The best deal is there was a gold refractor PSA 10 that went for 20,300, so a little bit more money.
Wait, a gold refractor, like a true gold?
True gold of the rookie debut. So the HMT 32. So the same pose as the red refractor number 25 that was raw that did over 10. I like the gold PSA 10 better.
That's fair.
Yeah. Then a red that's
Okay.
number 25 raw.
Let me share my screen again. And we can look at a couple cards. If you guys want to find a couple cards you want to talk about, I can show my watch list that I just did before. So here is the other Ohtanis that are expensive. We have a Dynasty 1 of 1 from 2022. Great year. This is a pretty cool triple. This is a triple, like, it's 14 grand. Wow. That's pretty crazy, but I understand why. I understand why this is so much. What do you guys feel about this card?
It's card is garbage. Garbage trash. It's 3 sticker autos.
You guys on sticker autos got to chill. You're
I wouldn't pay 140.
Way too far, I feel like.
No interest.
I think it's a cool card.
Pass.
I've come to realize something that is pretty obvious, but it's interesting nonetheless. Like, you should never buy a unaccomplished player on a duel, even if the person he's paired with you think is like top end, top tier. Like, oh, to reach those levels, it would be like awesome, and the values would increase anyways. Where I'm going at is like duels that have Ohtani and Ichiro. Ohtani and Ichiro, like, you would have thought, like, oh, like, what could go wrong? This is going to be great. Like, Ohtani becomes a legend. You'll have 2 legends on it. Like, no, like, now you'd rather have Ohtani be on the card and Ichiro not to be on it, because Ohtani's reached that level. And now Ichiro is holding him down. Say the same thing with Ohtani, Mike Trout duels.
Yeah.
Like, now Mike Trout's holding those cards down. So, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for a player to reach that level. And if you're buying a duel, that player will probably never reach that level.
Like this card right here. Like, there's an argument. It's hurt by Trout and Pujols.
Yeah. And that faded auto for Ohtani. But we talked about this on Blabbin last week, too. An Ohtani, one of our viewers had an Ohtani Mike Schmidt duel because they're both 3-time MVPs. And sadly, Schmidt, a 3-time MVP, is bringing that value of that Ohtani auto down.
Isn't that crazy?
That Ben Simmons duel came up as well, and I forget who it was, so I'm not going to give props to the right person. But someone said, and this was really funny, you got to wipe the Ben Simmons auto down and have Ohtani sign it again in kanji right there, and then the card goes through the roof.
What a bum this guy is!
I said cut it in half and turn it into a mini.
Yeah, there we go. Goodwin minis right there.
Yeah, it'd be better as a cut auto in a card.
So this card's pretty crazy. 14,000. I mean, plus the other 20%, so another $2,000. Pretty crazy. What else do you got with Ohtani?
Perfect timing on that one with Yamamoto now like plus 900 for World Series MVP.
Yep. What's that X Factor sitting at? That's just your basic Topps Chrome unnumbered X Factor parallel.
At $5,500.
I get the pink refractor, the regular refractor, those that like scraped in the up towards like 3,000, mid to high 2s. But yeah, I guess the X Factor is known to be a bit more condition sensitive. So the pops must be way lower than the other stuff.
Oh, man, I would guess that pops. I'm going to guess that pop is at 1,000.
At least.
No.
I know the 2019s were, they printed more in 2019. So maybe.
Phil said no very confidently there.
He did. So he's probably right. Usually Phil's right.
He pays attention to this kind of stuff because it's kind of his business. You know what I mean? Like with all the sealed wax, he has to know. Okay, where's X Factor?
It's been a while.
542.
Okay. All right. So Phil, you were right.
Still a lot.
That's still a lot. Pretty high pop. Yeah. LKS says X Factor at 5,500. We're asking for a sign that we're near the top. That might be it. That video Jeff and I put out, we pointed out his second year X Factor, a raw copy sold for like $94, I think.
Yep. Second year.
That was almost concerning.
So
based on some action I'm noticing from Facebook groups and whatnot and eBay sales, that Topps Chrome pose, the number 700 card, number 150 pitching, that is the clear number 2 now behind the Bowman Chrome.
I agree. So,
yeah.
So for base cards.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Staley. He got engaged today.
Oh, hey, congratulations.
Congrats.
Big congrats to him. So him and his fiance, they're wonderful. I've met them a bunch of times at the Nationals, so I just want to say congratulations and answer his question. Does Jeter lower a dual auto with Judge? I don't know. Maybe not. I think that's actually a very comparable card.
I think that one's fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Because Jeter
Jason Majors is bringing up the Jordan and Kobe, saying that because that's the most expensive card of all time, he doesn't agree with the logic of us saying somebody could bring.
Well, we're not saying like if it was a Judge Ohtani duel. We're saying
Yeah.
Ichiro. Ichiro is not an all-time great. When we say all-time great, I mean like a top 5 player. That's what I'm saying. But if we have a
part of this
logo man of Barry
Kobe
Bonds and
passed
Ohtani,
away.
that's pretty cool.
So there'll be no other Jordan Kobe autos.
Yeah. So it's not like the thesis overall is it can't be a duel. It's just you got to be careful of it being a Roki Sasaki and paying big for Roki in 2025 when it's a card that could be hurt by it.
Yeah. What is the what's that finest refractor down there going for? I like that card.
$1,200, $1,150.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Here's an intriguing one. A vintage stock out of 99.
Oh.
That one's interesting. I know vintage stock isn't as loved, but I do like vintage stock. I've always been fond of it because it's like logo. Yeah, I think it's cool. Just a very basic card. It's kind of like
I love what Pablo did with it in 2025
when they added the extra layer over it.
Well, yeah, they just made it like a different design. Like now it almost kind of looks like an 82 Topps card, so it stands out more.
Yeah, that's true.
These are tough to find in PSA 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's remove Ohtani from the equation here. How does that sound?
Maybe while I've got you guys here, you can talk to me about this Churio Dynasty that I'm watching.
Oh boy.
Dynasty. This one right here?
Yeah.
I don't love the patch.
Don't love the patch. I got to be honest. There's not a lot of good Churio patches on his Dynasty cards.
Okay, you know what card I think you should look at? This is the Churio card I think you should look at. This one right here is the one that I keep coming back to if I can find it. This jumbo, these colossal relics are gonna, I think, eventually blow up.
I like the bigger patch. Yeah, I do like that.
And the good thing about this card is it's the only one. There's only one of these versus his other where he has like 6. So there's only one image here for the jumbo patches. And they're always better.
5 jumbo patches, just one image in there.
I think it might be 10, 5, and 1, but there's just those 16 versus 16 of 6 different cards, right? So this is one like at this price makes much more sense to me than where were we?
And I don't like the graded, to be honest. I don't like
the grade bugs you. Yeah, if it was in the slab.
When football and basketball come over to Dynasty, you got to expect these types of patches to get more popular too. So that could rub off on baseball because the patch is obviously very important to those markets.
Yeah. So this is one I think you should look at, Jeff, if I'm being fully transparent with you. But this one, like, I don't know. This leaves a lot to be desired to me. I want to get back to the action shots of Dynasty, though. That's one thing we need to get back to.
There's not a lot of action shots. I mean, the other one of Churio, he's looking off into the distance. It just
don't love it.
If they turn a slight angle and all of a sudden it should be worth more. It's dumb. So, anyways,
all right.
I like the card. Just wish I had a better patch.
All right.
Ty kind of talked about this. There's an interesting thesis right now. So this Jackson Holliday is interesting. Besides the fact that his autograph is horrible all the time, but we are now seeing vertical RPAs introduced in 2013 forward. Are these going to become the cards to chase and not the horizontal, even though those horizontals historically are the cards that have been chased because it's all that existed back to 2014? What do you guys think about that? Because think about the vertical, you only have 1 or 2 images, plus it's vertical, which matches like National Treasures. Chris, Jeff, it's an action shot. How do you guys feel as non-Dynasty guys?
The horizontal versus vertical, I mean, I love a good horizontal card, so that doesn't bother me at all. It's more about, is the image better? And this is definitely a lot better than a lot of the mugshot type photos that we see on Dynasty.
It seems like you can get a better image on a vertical for the most part.
By the way, unrelated to that card, but Phil, how much did Jeff and I owe you in our bet? Would we say $10? I got to PayPal you.
Yeah, $10 each. Oh yeah, I didn't check back.
What was the final? What was his final tally? Because he was getting close there again at the end, Phil.
Yeah, for a few weeks here and there, and then
there was like a week in May.
He ended over 700, didn't he?
I don't know. I stopped looking at it because it was just making me angry. I did look at this auction for Freeman cards, by the way. There are only 2,
Yeah.
and that one just went right by one, right there.
Yeah, that autograph is sad.
This is out of one? This is
101.
Yeah.
Yep. Early 2010 Sterling's Reds were 101s. 101 sticker autograph with a faded auto. So there's like, how do you? I don't know. Autograph, it bothers me, but
Yeah.
maybe that's a me thing, a me problem.
No,
Sticker
I think
autographs bother me a lot less than faded autographs, whether on card or sticker. I can't do it if I can control it. If it's like a 101 like this, you can get over it. But this has always bothered me. It'll be what I look at every time I look at the card.
Yeah, no, I want nothing. I don't want this card at all. Maybe Jeff Wilson will buy it and add to his Freddie Freeman Superfractor collection. That's probably where it belongs. But yeah, the sticker auto just wrecks it. I just don't get it. I mean, how does a person who puts a sticker auto on a Superfractor like look in the mirror at night before they go to bed? I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
I like the Trout from that set.
Me too. The base card's out of 109, right? Because he doesn't have any other refractors aside from that.
Scott, can you scroll up? What is that? What's that Guerrero gold sitting at right now?
6250.
Man,
Talk about
time.
excellent timing for this seller.
Great timing.
job.
Right?
Fantastic job. Couldn't have done better on this card.
No, absolutely not. That's a really good bold auto too.
Yeah. Which we're going to see less and less of.
Oh yeah.
I'm releasing a video on autograph.
I look at this. You look like gold for gold. It's more expensive than J-Rod's market right now, which you may or may not agree with. But at least with Vlad, he's got like way lower pops, PSA pops specifically with the refractor and the base. So
does he have less parallels too, Phil? Because he came out
way fewer parallels. So it's the same set as Juan Soto. So he doesn't have like a green shimmer.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
These guys are the same age. No, Vlad's 2 years older.
Yeah.
These numbers are surprisingly close to OPS plus. That's pretty shocking, actually.
No gold wave or shimmer or anything like that.
That's a huge deal for Vlad's cards that people may not realize.
Yeah, so is just what he's doing. Like, I think Jeff and I had talked about this, but I mean, the line drive he hit off Yamamoto yesterday, that was a single. I think they said it was like 114 off the bat. I didn't look 1 mile an hour slower than like 135.
That,
I thought that
almost
was going
went
to kill
through the
somebody.
wall.
Yeah.
It was insane.
The line drive he hit after Springer's home run, I don't know who's playing left for Seattle. I forget, but he caught it like it pulled his arm back. Like Joe Davis, I think made a joke about it. He almost ripped his glove off. It almost ripped his arm off. I think they said that one was like 116 or something. This dude just murders baseballs. So Phil, get on a plane and teach him how to hit the ball in the air, please.
He looks trim too. Like usually guys that have these like chronic weight issues, they'll end up putting back the weight throughout the season, like Rafael Devers would. Pablo Sandoval was another one. Guerrero looks trim right now. He looks fit, he looks strong, and he's definitely way more intimidating at the plate than Shohei Ohtani or anybody on the Dodgers right now. But
that can change quick.
That's not going to, and yeah, it could change quick, and it's not going to completely drive card values. But
no, but if he gets this team over the Dodgers to win the World Series, if that doesn't do anything for his card values, then I mean, there's no point in ever owning a Guerrero card.
It's going to make people completely, well, I wouldn't say completely, but it's going to make people overlook WAR a little bit more. I think, not saying like 4.5 is fine, but guys like Kyle Schwarber, other guys like of that ilk, I don't know why I'm forgetting them, but there's a few others that clearly are super important in the playoffs. It's like those guys are important.
A few thoughts on like Vlad, right? We're talking about WAR. David Ortiz comes to mind as a player with not a ton of WAR who's a playoff hero. You can go look at other players, but the thing with Vlad this year is he wasn't that great offensively. This is a fantastic season for most players, but not Vladimir Guerrero Jr., right? He had a 133 OPS plus, hit 292 with 23 home runs. That's not Vlad, but he's probably going to win a second Gold Glove this year, guys. Like, he's gotten so much better defensively. If he had one of his peak offensive seasons with his defense this year, you're looking at a 7 to 8 WAR season probably. It's just kind of crazy to see that. But with that being said, there's a reason I'm going down this route. If we look at Vlad in the playoffs, in 13 games, he has 6 home runs versus his 23 home runs in 160 games. He is on pace for over 162 games played, 51 home runs, hitting 342. Obviously, the way that pace works is that can slow down, but he turned it on. And before this, he was really bad in the postseason. That was one of the knocks against him his first couple of years, but he killed that narrative real quick. Very reminiscent of Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that really made Chris and I start to question all the validity of like baseball savant stuff, because his expected batting average, his expected slugging were so high, and it's just it made you wonder if their formula was broken, because he just couldn't do that. And I think it's just because he hit the ball so hard with such a low launch angle that it kind of broke StatCast and baseball savants.
Some of the issues with Vlad and Baseball Savant with their hit probability, they don't take into consideration where the ball was hit to. They only look at the exit velocity and the launch angle. So They don't look at like, if you hit like a ball to deep center field, that's a fly out 100 out of 100 times. They'll say, man, that's a home run if you hit it anywhere but deep center field. But if a guy hits it to deep center field, it's an out, right?
So that's count as an expected home run?
They'll say it had 87% hit probability when it was never going to be a hit, because they're looking at everything else. So for Vlad, he might have a really high expected hit probability, but it's just a ground ball to the left side every time. So if you can position, if it's too consistent the way he hits the ball, you can play for that. Right. So his thing is just beating that stigma, which is possible. So
yeah, there was a ESPN said, I was reading an article about the game 2, and ESPN just casually mentioned he was the 6th unluckiest hitter this year in baseball in terms of
according to that stat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, expectations.
And that's been like 3 years in a row that he's. So is he really unlucky, or are people just playing towards where they know he's going to hit it?
Probably that one. It's the same thing with Paul Goldschmidt. The reason I know Paul Goldschmidt, but he has so many expected hits. That's why his expected batting average is high, but he flies out to center every 2 seconds. So, Okay, let's look at auctions again. Sorry. I love analytics.
Yeah, back to some cards. Yeah, I wonder though. I feel like that Guerrero card's really interesting. I'm not bidding on it. I don't have any money right now, but
it's got to be one of his best cards. One of Vladimir.
It feels like a stupid time to buy a Guerrero card, right, Jeff? But I mean, at the same time,
yeah. If he leads in
the
World Series title, that's one of his best cards.
These Star Rubies are really pretty in hand. There's no video, but Star Rubies are great. I like 90s cards. I wish Ty was here to talk about them.
Yeah, but Jeter's on it, so.
This card, I'm interested to see what it goes for. So, really cool card.
Oh, I did want a thick boy in the comments here. Did you guys see? Yeah, here it is. Did you guys see that over-the-shoulder, very casual catch that Vlad made last night? Made that look really smooth. I needed someone to, and I don't want to watch it, but I'm surprised it hasn't been done. A side-by-side of Vlad making that catch and Freddie Freeman not making that catch.
Yeah, my son was wondering what was going on with that Freeman catch.
That
and was that Smoltz that said, like, I don't know why a pitcher can't catch the ball.
Yes.
And that's what my kids were saying. Like, why can't the pitcher? He's standing right there.
Yeah, that looked like some rec league softball that
they're not allowed to catch it. Oh, yes, they're allowed to catch it, but they just don't let the pitchers catch it. All right.
Yeah.
So here's a card I want to talk about. Obviously, Definitive Dynasty. There's a couple advantages to Definitive. We talk about it. Usually have really good patches for the price, and they're better photos. So his Dynasty cards are going for probably 10 to 15,000. How do you guys feel about a Definitive RPA?
Definitive might actually get like the biggest bump from a percentage basis with basketball and football coming on, because I feel like this is going to be pushed as a very coveted set, and I think it'll be really well appreciated by collectors that are used to the verticals too. I don't think it'll ever supplant Dynasty for various reasons, but I think this is a cool card. I would not, spend a ton of money on a baseball RPA potentially myself, just to avoid risk. And PSA 10, I don't know. I don't really care about the grade with patch cards. So a PSA 10, I'm just going to lose in those auctions. Other people will win, and they'll put a premium on it. I won't, and they might be right. So,
hey Scott, to the left of that Guerrero, am I seeing a Mizorowski red?
Yes, you are.
Jeff, are you the high bidder on this guy?
Sure am. $8.50. Oh, it got above my high bid. So no, I'm not, sadly.
Mizorowski.
And this is like less than 50% of probably his peak market, which is kind of crazy. But he looked good in the playoffs. He was inconsistent this year overall. Started off real hot, then they figured him out, or he just got too wild. What was the issue with that, Jeff?
A couple things. Yes, he got a little wild. He's very emotional, and that got the best of him a lot in the second half once people started to hit him or he was missing his spots. So, yeah, I think he's got a few things to work on. People started getting the scouting report, but, man, he throws gas. So if he can put it together, he's got a great future. But it's pitcher.
Couple thoughts on this card. How many pitchers? I know the answer just because I've done the research on it. But how many pitchers in the world who've ever had a Bowman Chrome autograph sell more than this red right now? How many other pitchers with the first Bowman go for more in the same card right now?
Ever. That
As of right now, their current market values.
2 guys, Cam Schlittler, Trey Savage. Just kidding.
Those two might.
Didn't we see a Scooble go for near this recently?
Scooble better go for more than this. He better, but I don't know if he would.
No, well, his orange is around like 5,500 right now.
I think a red of his sold recently.
All right. Well, Skeens, yes. Kershaw, yes.
Yeah, so Scooble would have to. His implied valuation would be higher.
Yeah, it should be.
Scooble
Sure.
The hard part is we don't have a true red. All we have are the sapphires and the shimmers. But his latest sale, what a great buy this was. The sapphire red out of 5 went for $4,000 for Scooble. I'd rather have 4 of these.
No subs. No subs on there. Interesting.
That is, at a certain, it's a rare enough card where it doesn't bug me if it was a PSA 8. If I'm being honest.
I don't know. Red.
But the answer, we can put Scooble in the group. We don't know, but Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, and Paul Skeens. That's it. So Mizrowski is expected to be better than those guys. So pretty crazy. Whoever's buying this card, I think you might be overdoing it. So
yeah, there's a lot baked into this value.
If you guys do fantasy baseball, he's like not even a lock top 20 starting pitcher for next year.
Okay.
Because I traded for him and it looked like that was a really bad trade because then I was looking into like dynasty rankings and I'm like, where's this guy? Oh, because he hasn't been good. We don't really know what to expect from him next year. He's almost in this class with a bunch of other guys. Like the Mets have a guy. What's his name, Chris?
McLean.
Red Sox bring up another kid too.
The Mets guy is McLean. I don't know what his first name is. Nolan? Is it Nolan McLean?
Right. Like Mizorowski's not definitively a longer term better bet than him or a lot of other guys. He's just kind of, it could be a really bad buy, but could also be really good. No,
could be really good. He throws gas. He's going to get all the potential, all the opportunity to start in Milwaukee.
If I was buying a card at this price range, I'd rather have this platinum gold Griffey. This is a sweet card. So these are numbered to 30. They're very rare, very sought after for Pinnacle. I love this era because there's sets outside of tops. Like you have Pinnacle putting up big numbers, but these platinum golds are really, really cool cards. So I'd rather have this than Mizrowski 10 out of 10 times.
The design is pretty cool on that one too. I got to admit.
What else? What else do we got on that's interesting?
How about that green Mookie right there?
Auto's a little bit weak. I was looking at it earlier. It's like it sat out a little bit, but still not a bad card.
I like it. I'd go for that if I was a Mookie buyer.
Yeah, any of those.
I like green more than you guys. Go ahead.
You do like green more than, but one of those autos in a PSA 10, I feel like his parallels do not grade well at PSA. Those surfaces are a mess. So that's in the centering too. Pop on there has got to be low.
I will never stop trying to push them onto Chris. He'll eventually like them, and he'll be like, "Why didn't I buy him earlier?" It's how Chris is. He's stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely the guy of the 4 of us who sits here and wishes he bought certain cards earlier, who came in a little bit later. That's definitely me.
We'll get you there, Chris.
It would be funny if secretly I had like a really big 90s stash and I just
the best one, everybody. All bonds, rare stuff.
Yeah, I never said a word about it. That'd be amazing. I don't have that kind of willpower though.
With the Mookie there, a lot of people have an issue with greens because it's not an original color. That's the most common criticism. Some other people will say, well, I don't like it because it was a retail exclusive. That doesn't hold true for Bowman Chrome. But that does hold true for Bowman. And that was a year where it was in 2014 Bowman, I believe, for Mookie. So I guess that could have been a retail exclusive that year. So, but I
don't see why that would be a big deal. Personally, that doesn't bug me in the slightest. If anything, it makes it more rare. But I get the argument. I agree with you.
What's the multiplier from bets to Ohtani? Because Ohtani's PSA 10 green, with the buyer's premium, I think it was on Fanatics, cracked $100,000. So where's Mookie? If that card sells for like 7, is Mookie really like 6% of Ohtani?
I mean, I want to talk about this comment real quick. I don't think it's Phil claiming the blue is better than the green. I'm pretty sure it's the market. Look at Ohtani's cards. It's pretty clear.
Yeah,
that the
I think
blue
that's
is
all four of
passive.
us will be agreeing with that sentence.
I bet you out of the 216 people in here, can we run a poll? How do you do polls on StreamYard? Can you do polls?
No.
Oh, I wish we
We
could
need
do
another app.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Let me know in the chat. Say blue or green. Which one you prefer?
Yeah,
Let's
perfect.
count it real quick.
Scott, by the way, this is your way in. Michigan Cards and Grass is right. If you want to get me into if Mark Messier, if there are any of these parallels exist for hockey cards or any of these inserts exist for hockey cards, this is how you get me.
Well, I have news for you, Chris. They exist.
That's not good for my
I'm
marriage.
gonna start sending you some tonight. But
seeing a lot of blue. Seeing a lot of blue in the comments, guys.
Blue. I mean, I did lead them to this. In the person's defense who likes the green, I did basically. Oh,
that's a good qualifier from SFO. The Oakland A greens are very cool.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
100% with that.
I agree.
So here's an interesting Ohtani. We talk about Ohtani cards. He has, in 2019, some of his autographs are his longer rookie year autograph. This is what this is right here. So this one is interesting because is there a premium for his early autos? If there is, this one is a pretty, like there's a small streak, but not terrible. It's a pretty good looking card, really good image. Bowman Sterling out of 10. Pretty cool card.
I don't know. I like his thicker autos, like the Dynasty one that Phil has.
Did you just say you like his sticker autos?
Yes. Thicker. His sticker autos.
Yeah. His sticker autos?
No, it's just, even if it's not faded, it looks a little faded to me.
Okay.
I can see why it's not.
Let's see what else is next. This card's pretty dope. This card has to do something for you, Chris.
Yes. See, I remember that though. This is a great trivia question. We use this on Blabbin. If anyone here can tell us, I want to hear the answer. Although if you watched, if you crossed over, but so there were 3 of these. These are the first pack pulled game used jerseys. It was Griffey, Tony Gwynn, and who's the third guy?
Griffey, Tony Gwynn,
Cal Ripken, Nolan Ryan.
Nope.
Oh, that would make too much sense.
No. Nope.
LKS.
LKS nailed it.
Oh wow.
HP card, chasing me.
Really?
Ray Ordonez.
Slick fielding shortstop for the Mets, Scott.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who that is. And people can't get mad at me. I was 2 years old when this set.
He was watching baseball in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
No,
Defensive wizard. Yeah. But just really funny. Like if you're opening, if you found some boxes of this and you were opening it, and you're like, oh my god, I got a thick card, and it's like, oh, it is one of the jersey cards. It's Ray Ordonez.
Yeah, that would suck. Okay, here's a parallel that I like. What about this pearl?
This is really funny. Sorry.
What about this pearl? Guy. This pearl card. Is this a parallel you guys can get behind from the pearl packs in Bowman Chrome? It's new, but you get a pack of 4 pearl cards, and like one in every few has an autograph.
Okay. I don't know what the market is for these. Well, I can assume based on where it's at now. But I would pay maybe around what a true gold goes for this. But I probably wouldn't even go that high. So less than an orange out of 25 true. More than like a gold wave, gold shimmer. But I don't know. Maybe like 5 to 6 times the base for that.
So here's an interesting comment.
I am shocked by that. Like legitimately shocked.
How come?
That Phil would consider this card like on par with a gold. Like that really surprises me. I
out of 10. I mean, the thing is that this card, it's out of 10, right? And so we do have those individuals that know the gold is the true color, but not everybody knows that. This is out of 10.
I want to pay less than the true gold.
Okay.
A little less.
I agree with you.
I want a discount.
Okay.
What's up, Ty?
Hey, guys.
All right. Now the Raptors here, I can't be in the same room with Raptors, so I got to take off, fellas.
That's fair.
It's bad.
Good luck, everybody, if you're bidding on that Hira. I'm only going to go a little bit higher, so maybe you get it. Good luck the rest of the night, boys. See you later.
See you, bro.
Bye, Jeff.
Ty, I'm glad you're here because I've been talking about 90s cards, and Jeff and Chris close their eyes and go, no, whenever I talk about it.
I know. So, I saw a minute. I was trying to watch a little bit, and but I also was watching an episode of Survivor with my wife. So,
okay. Well, let me ask you your thoughts on the 90s cards. Ty, why do you like or dislike Essentials credentials?
I love them. I know I saw the
Chris
conversation
hates them.
earlier, but I have to be honest. If I tried it, you obviously can't look at something through like an invisible lens when you already have one. But I do understand why Chris and Jeff would say they don't like them.
Yeah, me too.
There's just a nostalgic effect to them. It's the same way that I can understand why some people like 80s card designs, and I hate them for the most part. I just don't like them at all. It's the same thing. It's just a nostalgia effect, and credentials are like pure 90s to me. But there's a lot of 90s stuff I like more than credentials, and I say that as somebody whose best card is probably this Grant Hill that I have. So
how do I make your screen bigger? There you go. Show it again. Show it again.
Okay,
Yeah, everybody can see it. They look better in hand than photos, and it's like an acquired taste for me. I didn't love them.
They're layered. The tech, if you like start to understand the printing technology behind them and like what they did from a manufacturing perspective, that adds an element of appreciation, in my opinion, like to stuff that we see today. They're really cool in hand. So
Can I show you? I want to show you guys. Can I share my screen? I want to show you guys two cards from the auction. One is a card that I really like that I actually am considering sort of bidding on, but I'll show you guys anyway because I probably won't. Another one is what I think is the single ugliest card in the entire auction.
I want that one first.
Okay, all right, ugly one first.
Yeah, ugly one first.
All right, hold
If
on,
it's a Scotty B. Cars card, I'm gonna be pissed.
it's just a card I made. That's
Is there a Scotty B's auction going on?
Okay, so this is not the ugly card.
I was about to say this is not ugly to me. I was
No.
going to disagree with you. Okay.
Right? I don't know what this card should go for. I don't really care that it's a 9, but these finest flashbacks, these were like my way back into the hobby. Was the 2020 set and the 21. I think these cards just look absolutely incredible in hand. I wish it were the original auto, but he's hitting. I love that. I think that's 95 finest. Is that design? That just looks incredible to me.
It's a cool card. I'm a big fan of finest flashbacks. They discontinued it, didn't they?
I did not see it in 2024 or 2025. I haven't seen it yet.
Was
Huge
it
opportunity.
It was just for 3 years, maybe 2020, 2021, 2022, potentially.
I think that's right.
They have it 2023. I don't know. Yeah.
Then 2023 thing. 4
so?
years, and then it's gone, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a shame.
What's the
I love
ugly
that
card?
All right, give me a second. I feel bad. I don't want to like crap on a card that someone watching us might be bidding on, but I don't know. Some cards speak to different people, and that's completely fine.
Did you guys talk about the 52 tops like reprint gold refractor mantle already?
No,
Not yet. No.
Okay, well, we'll pull that one up next.
So somebody in the chat asked if Dynasty vertical cards would overtake horizontal. I'm just going to give that 15 seconds of an answer here. The markets are sort of, at least for Dynasty with baseball, soccer, and F1, the highest sales ever have been horizontal. In my opinion, the horizontal Dynasty cards look better than the vertical. And I think it would take a while for vertical Dynasty to overtake horizontal Dynasty. Like look at like Lewis Hamilton, Messi's tops, like in baseball, top Dynasty sales. Personally, I think the total package looks better with horizontal. Sure, the image, there's more room for a better one, whatever, to do the vertical thing. But I think Dynasty is going to be horizontal first. And I think the cards just look a little bit more premium that way.
So
one thing, Phil, as well, is collectors in Dynasty who will be the end buyers of these cards for a lot of them that aren't like the Ohtanis or the Sotos or whatever, they would not buy the vertical for a lot of them because their entire collection since 2014 are horizontal. Right. So I think that's another big thing as well, is all those guys love that type. So I think that's a big part of it.
I think it depends. One counterpoint to that, Phil, would be that early National Treasures sets were all horizontal and they switched over time. So Steph Curry's RPA is horizontal. Julio Jones, the whole 2011 like football set, they're all horizontals. And then they made verticals later. I don't know what year they started doing that in basketball, but the basketball community is like very vertical, true vertical coming in.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So what might happen is like in other sports, like in basketball, it'll be really interesting to see when Dynasty comes out, what people gravitate toward, and then how that impacts baseball, if at all, over time.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier with like the vertical preferences in other sports. It will be an interesting social / market experiment to see like, okay, Dynasty is giving us both options probably out of the gate. For football and basketball, you're getting a certain amount of vertical, certain amount of horizontal. They're both nice looking, right? Like they're both numbered to the same. number to 10, number to 5. Which one's going to sell for more out of the gate? Is that going to change? Is that going to evolve slowly? So, yeah.
I really wish Phil hadn't asked that question then, because I didn't want to look at this judge card for 2 minutes, and it's really.
I don't hate this card. I actually kind of like this card.
This is a tie card for sure.
This is a tie card.
Yeah, you're definitely not the only one. I mean, I was kind of surprised the bidding was up over $1,000. So it's like MLB illustrations out of Topps Chrome.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't hate this card. I wouldn't say it like blows me away. I wouldn't spend $1,300 on it, or
fair enough,
$1,500 with BP, but I don't hate it though.
Okay.
But it doesn't surprise me that you think it's ugly. I just know your style enough by now to know.
All right, I just want to share. I want to share one other card while my screen is up, because I was pretty surprised at where this card is and that it's even in this auction. So I'm just going to show this one real quick. So this is just a Paul Skeens base Heritage high number card.
PSA
graded as CGC10. $31. It's kind of funny. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
What's that normally sell for?
I'm not betting on it.
Hi. Yeah. Why do you like this card? Tell me why you like this card.
Oh, geez, I love these cards.
Tell me why, because we need some more 90s representation.
Okay, I'll tell you why I love this card, but it's still going to be well, first of all, these golds actually look really cool in hand. The gold foil is really nice on them, and these came out of a product that was less than $1 a pack. It was like the equivalent of Big League Collector's Choice. This was like the big hit. And the thing about them is there's not a lot of them. Like even back in the day, there were this is like a kid's product to the core. I opened so much Collector's Choice, UD Choice when I was a kid. And I bet people like kids hit these and didn't even know. They're just some sitting in binders, maybe. Like these are the ultimate grail out of a cheap product from the 90s. They're very, like, have you looked up the pop on this, Scott? Does it say?
I'm going to look it up right now, but I want to point out it's numbered to 100, so it sounds like they're readily available. But if you go look up 1999 Star Quest real quick.
No. I'm sure it was on the screen. They usually put the pop.
Well, I'm intentionally being vague on purpose.
Oh,
pop
right
1 and 2. There's only 2 graded basically.
Yeah.
But if we go look at okay. If we go look at the golds, there's only between like everybody total in the entire set. Like Jeter has the most graded at 12. You may be lucky to get 1 to 3 graded for a lot of these players. And there's like all Hall of Famers. Yeah. Mark McGwire only has 2 authenticated. Like they're just absurd to find.
What was that one at?
Huh? Well, this one is at 4,000.
Man.
Chris is funny. Everything from the years 1888 to 2001 are worthless, and everything after 2018 is worthless.
Hold on now. Those are sweeping generalizations.
Yes, they are. Absolutely are.
Oh, hold on.
He likes the finest refractors from the 90s.
I do like those.
Like super short prints?
There was a chat in the comments in the chat about Pinnacle in the 90s, and there's Dufex parallel. So museum collection for baseball. Think of the Griffey blowing the bubble.
Yeah.
And, they called it rink collection in hockey, and Messier holding the Stanley Cup. I love those. Those looked amazing when I was a kid. I think they hold up.
Hey, look at this. Someone agrees with me. Thank you very much. All right. So I have to hop. I was supposed to hop off 30 minutes ago, but this was just too fun. So we'll have to do this again, maybe on future auctions. But I love you guys. I'll let somebody else take the lead on the sharing. Can I show a couple final cards that I thought were interesting before I go?
All right, go ahead.
This one right here, this nasty, dirty Junior Caminero RPA with an amazing patch. That card's dope. This card's really, really cool to me. So
I like it. Yeah,
that's a really cool card. Everything about this card is cool.
Yes, I can even support this card. I like that.
That's a cool card. The Diamantes, or not the crystallized, not Diamantes. I love these crystallized cards.
They're really cool in hand.
They look awesome. So, like, this is a card that I think should be considered. Like, if you're looking for a cool Roki, this is a good option. I'm not looking for a Roki, so I don't feel bad saying that.
Yeah, what Ty said though, I saw a couple in hand at the last West Coast card show, and like there's more going on in the background there than a photo picks up. Like it looks, they look really cool in hand when you kind of turn them in the light.
This is a really good job by Topps.
Yeah.
What else? There's other stuff I watched. George Kirby's in this auction. This Soto is intriguing to me because I don't know where this letter came from on his jersey. There's definitely no R in Soto or Nationals, and it just goes to show this isn't game worn. It's player worn.
Came from Anthony Rendon. That's where it came from.
It could have.
We know it's not game worn. I mean,
but the other thing just to be concerned about, like
that's game used in the title. Are you sure it's not game used?
I'm pretty sure it's not game used.
I think it might be.
Does it have to be game used by Soto though?
Player used. Oh my god!
I'm like 99% sure. Player used.
That's not good. They put game
that's
used
really bad because that's not game used, and you can tell because this is nothing in Soto's jersey that I could think of, unless it's like a sleeve patch I don't know about. Thought that was interesting. Like even this flawless Ohtani, which is at $12,000, it does not say game used, which is good, but this one's definitely not game used either. I believe. I'll double check. Player used, which I don't know what that means. Not even player worn. What does used mean? Anything else I wanted to talk about? Cool Judge prospect cards.
Oh yeah, that Judge prospect card. Can you go back up to that one? Because that came up when we did our Judge draft. I forget someone.
This one's one of my favorite cards. This one is mine.
Was it?
I think. If not, I would have taken it. But this is one of his best cards out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, we had a category for his pre-rookies, and the reason why we wanted to include it is because it wasn't just like the Bowman Chrome Auto. There's also this Bowman Sterling Auto, which has parallels, and it sells for quite a bit. It's coveted. It's a nice looking card.
Yeah, that's a cool one. And then
we're talking about trap goals right there. If you ever do shrugs at the gym, like that's what you're striving for.
The last one I want to talk about is this card. I've always loved this particular Bryce Harper. This is the Bowman Sterling rookie. On card, they look fantastic in hand. Great image. Everything about this is cool to me. This is the black out of 10, I believe. Out of 25. But that's a cool card that I'm interested in. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Harper knows how to sign cards. Like he uses space. Like,
yes, he does.
He understands the game.
And I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. These are my other watch cards. But that's it. Other cool card.
Before you go out, scroll up for a second. What is this one on the top right? Someone's holding up a trophy right there. What card is that?
Oh, you like the Upper Deck MVP Superscript, huh? Superscripts are dope.
Those are cool.
Yeah,
so this is another low-end set, Chris, low-end set, but what it is, it's like the Japanese cards for Ohtani. Like the foil is different for the foil throughout the card. It's like different colors. But this is a Ken Griffey, the Superscript number to 25. Wow. There's another one as well, but it's the gold script or whatever it is. This piques your interest?
Yeah, I like that image, and yeah, I open up some packs, but not quite this late in the 90s, but they had similar stuff where like the script just changed in the collector's choice set, where they just stamped it like electric diamond, and it's easy to miss. So yeah, I'm wondering how many of these, if there's 20, they printed 25, how many, have seen the light of day in the right way?
Yeah, that's a good question. But
it's like an opening day image variation.
This will be win the home run derby in Colorado, which I like as a Rockies fan. That's a cool card. The Rockies logo back there. All right, guys. It's great being with you. I love you guys. Right. I don't know how late you're going, but I'll watch it tomorrow. Everybody else, don't leave because they're staying here. See you guys.
Take care, Scott.
Yeah, extended bidding has begun, Phil.
How do I leave?
How do I leave is a funny question.
All right. I was going to show, I just got a bunch of, I don't even know what sequence this is. And I was just opening things that were interesting. So this is a one of one, which you don't see from the 90s very often, Flair and the masterpieces. It's just crazy. Every time I see the gap between like basketball cards versus baseball, it's big. I don't know who I would compare in the NBA to like Mo Vaughn, but this would be like 10K in a masterpiece for some player of similar caliber in basketball. This just made me laugh. There were a bunch of these because it's in like a giant, I don't even know what that is. Is it a top loader or what? I guess it's like a giant
like a bag almost.
Semi-rigid. It's like in a bag in a giant semi-rigid and then just sealed up top. Obviously with Fanatics Collect, they mandate that everything go through the like $3 CGC authentication if it's not graded.
Sure.
So there were a few of those teed up, seeing like 2 pieces of a bat in this giant thing. I'd be curious to see when that gets shipped, what that looks like.
Yeah. So our upload that we had posted today for the guys that haven't seen it yet, it was like, who's the best player to collect after Shohei Ohtani? And we had talked about Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, and Bryce Harper. We didn't talk about Bobby Witt in that conversation, which was probably an oversight on our part, because I think he is. You could make the argument of him over a few of those guys, certainly.
Yeah,
future's bright for him.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about Calvin Pickering either?
this
Well, so.
this is another one. I'll be honest, I don't know who Calvin Pickering is. I didn't really start like majorly getting into baseball, like watching it regularly until I was in college. And but this card would be $1,000 if it were an NBA card. So that stuck out to me. Same thing here. Jeff Bloom, 1 of 1. I can't believe this isn't more, just for any like late 90s, early 2000s, 1 of 1. Did you talk about this?
I don't think we did.
A little, but not a lot. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Good price, bad price.
Well, what did his other ones go for?
He had like a 4th or 5th year Dynasty, some stuff that's going for close to like 10K, but it's not 1 of 1, and it's like decent patches, like talking Angels patches, of course. It's hard to compare to 2018 or even 2024 at this point. But yeah, that one's tough to value. I'm not a huge fan of like that small Nike swoosh.
I'm not either. A lot of people do really like the Nike tags, but I'm not a huge fan of them, to be honest. Let me close that. I don't know. The way everything with Ohtani seems lately, it just seems to fit the bill.
All right. It's about right.
Do we think this is his auto going forward, or do you guys anticipate he might change it again? I mean, I know it's a guessing game, but what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good point. If we go back and look at the evolution over time. So that's obviously the one we know from his rookie year. That's not the kanji. And here's
it changed in 2021. Oh, that's cool with the Angel logo back there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back, guys.
This auto is a little streakier.
Yeah, it does look like there's a piece missing on the top right?
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't look as good. This one's that.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you look at an auto, but like if I pinch in here, like even just having that little loop here to me, like makes the auto look a lot nicer than this.
Yeah, I feel like of the 4 or 5 of us, I might be the loosest auto grader guy, but I still notice on that 1 of 1 that the pen lifted. Something is missing up there for sure.
You are definitely the loosest.
For sure.
This one, yeah, interesting. Where do you think this ends, Chris?
I don't even know how to comp it. It's a 1 of 1 Ohtani, so it'll end when of the 2 people still bidding, one of them falls asleep.
Yeah. So we got to add 20% to this.
Yeah, so add 3,600 to it.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this get to push up to 30 with the BP.
Yeah, Canes Lance and JT Hunter were also asking. That must be that card was before he signed his New Balance deal. I don't know.
That's a good point. I don't know. Well, but this is like a team jersey though. Does his New Balance deal affect his jersey with the team?
It can't, right? I mean, even Michael Jordan had to wear like a Reebok jersey.
I think this is just like from the Angels jersey. Not like from his shoes or whatever else he might be wearing. Phil, where's this going to end?
That wouldn't be from a wristband because it's got red behind it. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like it, though. I get why someone would think
I guess
that.
It does kind of look like a wristband. Yeah. Interesting. Where do you think this is going to wind up, Phil?
I could see it going like 10 to 15% higher, no more than that.
All right. So right around 20-ish. Before buyer's premium.
I'm going to keep that one pinned open. Keep checking on it. Did you talk about this one? This is the other credentials set, Chris. Have you seen this one before? Essential credentials?
I've seen some of those. I did not look at this particular. I was a big Galarraga fan, like a real likable guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Came back. He had that like non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, missed a year, came back, and he was great for the Braves again.
Yeah, he kind of fit the bill of those
And he's got that highlight, if you guys have seen it, where he hits a home run in Florida against the Marlins. They were the Florida Marlins then. I think it was still Miami, but I think it's off Kevin Brown. And he hits it into like the fourth deck, like where they have like a tarp over the seats. And it's supposedly like one of the longest home runs in a game of the last like 20 years.
Wow.
It's absurd.
Does this design, I actually kind of sneakily like this design more than the one from the year prior, but the one from the year prior is way more popular. But the foil, like the lettering on this, anything about this card that makes you kind of go, that's interesting.
The Braves logo. That's about it.
Honestly. The out at 91, I like.
They're like layered. You can see like the depth in the card. The lettering's really cool.
That is cool. Probably way cooler in person.
Yeah, it's like a gritty gold sparkle like background. All right.
Oh no. J.E. Ursath was one of the guys who stopped by our Spitballin and hangout, and he was kind enough to give me a Ryan Klesko card, and I see he was brutally sniped on a another Klesko recently. That's too bad.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I like these. What about these? Do you know these? Have you seen these before, Chris?
I don't. I'm not sure if I have. That doesn't look familiar. It has kind of a Lord of the Rings feel to it, so I see what you're doing to me here.
So I'm just trying to see if there's a lot of stuff from the 90s you may not have seen. There's stuff I see new stuff all the time that I just didn't know existed in baseball. But
I'll tell you what I like right now: finest refractors, the Topps Chrome refractors from '96, and I do actually like those Fleer Ultra, like platinum medallions or something. That's Fleer Ultra set from the late '90s. Those look great.
Yes. This picture is not doing this any justice because these are actually pretty cool. And at $9, I was going to see what these kind of regularly go for. There was one of these in a 10 at Cards HQ that I almost considered buying because I just thought you take that iconic vintage card and throw some refraction on it. It actually looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
Overtakes the original at some point.
There you go. Speaking of, these are really cool. And these 52 Topps. So there's a set that's called like Top Style in basketball that are very, very, very popular. In fact, I feel like I have one up on my wall. Yeah, here. This is so they did it even though there wasn't 52 Topps basketball. Let me share my screen here. Oops. So I have this Tayshaun Prince, and no, it is not Chauncey Billups, even though I have tons of those on my wall here. Tons of them. There's a big Billups card I saw that sold recently. But these are very popular in basketball, so not surprising to me to see this in the oops, let me change my view.
There we go. Better. Ooh.
Nope, sorry. There we go. Got it. That was trickier than it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a really cool idea. Like the 52 design with a gold refraction to it. That's smart. Hopefully they don't do it again and again and again.
No, and they haven't. I haven't. I mean, shades of heritage, right?
Sure.
Similar. This was the sale I saw of the Chauncey Billups that sold raw for $1,000 just a couple months ago. And I don't know what to make. Yeah, anyway, we don't need to talk about Chauncey Billups. In fact, I don't want to.
Okay. So, how does that Clemens look? That 84 Clemens right there. What's the condition on this? It's a 9.5, but what's the centering?
Yeah, you can tell it's off center. Centering 9.
Yeah, left, right. Yep. You want those to be a little bit closer in size and width.
Yeah.
But I love that card. I mean, that's like, in my opinion, well, there's the top Tiffany, the top Tiffany as well, which is really sought after and more expensive, I think, like grade per grade. But this is what I would consider like the iconic, somewhat attainable rookie of Clemens to get.
I totally agree. The 84 Fleer update set was like, you never saw it back in the 80s. Never, ever, ever. And you knew it existed because Beckett always talked about it, but you never saw it. And it's for my like 40th birthday, my wife got me a set. And it's I have it in a binder, and it's phenomenal. I look at it like I would say like once a week at least. It's just so cool. It's so rare. There's like potentially 3 Hall of Famers in there, turned into 1 Hall of Famer, but we thought there was going to be 3 at one time.
That's cool.
Plus, you get Pete Rose on the Expos. A little bonus in there.
Bonus. I just celebrated my 40th birthday right before Phil celebrated his older than 40th birthday.
Best to leave it at that.
I was drinking your tequila, Lalo.
Yeah.
Anybody
have you had that before?
Better Call Saul? Lalo Salamanca. That's what I thought of.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
Actually,
can give.
that too.
But no, I hadn't had it, and it's good. I had it straight. Just first like 45 minutes or so of the stream.
Nice.
Very smooth.
You just drink it tequila for 45 minutes, Phil? I'm impressed. That's
Still
not
with
easy.
us too.
Yeah, he's still with it. Might be propped up a little bit, but good for him.
What about this?
No, but maybe Jeff will.
I'm the contrarian of the group, and I tend to like all the shimmers and logo fractor design. I don't like all the stuff, but some of these I do think are pretty cool. It's on card. I have a hard time because of the collective conscious going for like the true colors, like saying that I would like pay up big money for a card like this.
Well, it's the logo fractor edition.
Right.
Or else
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Jackson Churio, and I think this card looks cool, but he's got Topps Chrome autos. He's got Topps Chrome update autos. He's got Sapphire autos, Sapphire update autos, logo fractor autos. I mean, he's got gilded autos. It just keeps going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I feel like for Churio's a first Bowman Chrome auto or bust, I think, for me.
When there's 5 PSA 10s out of like 10 total printed, it makes it hard for me to want to pay up for the 10s, but it makes me not want to have the 9 because there are so many 10s. So it makes me often just avoid the card altogether, which I don't know is the best approach, but
I feel that I won't do that gesture. I feel like that mental tug of war. I feel it. SFO says Churio's got a black Sapphire auto in this auction as well. He was accusing Jeff of ditching us to go bid on it earlier. Maybe that's what was happening.
So one of the guys from Cards HQ who works there bought a box of 2025 Bowman Chrome baseball, and he hit a redemption of a Max Clark, one of these, but it's a Max Clark, and it's obviously not a rookie, and it's not a first. It's just a prospect card, but it was the red numbered to 5. And he was like trying to figure out how much it was worth. And then like, as I started pulling these up, I figured out it might be like $400 or $500 is all. And those hobby boxes, like for Bowman Chrome, this is just another example, are $390. So you hit a card like that and you're just like, he thought it was like maybe $1,200. And
how could a non-first non-rookie be $1,200? I don't care if
it's red. It's a pat. Do you know it's a jersey auto? I mean,
don't care. No offense. I'm sorry to you, buddy.
It's one of those ones where like you'd have to check because there's like not much history of patch cards being sold in Bowman products. So like, is there demand? These
I didn't even know these were in there.
So they are game used. It looks like. But they're not often the greatest patches. Are they game used? Because one of them just said it was game used.
I think the first one game used. Okay. Yeah. So like, here's the gold redemption, and it sold for $170.
Okay.
So, and the orange for $250. So how's my multiplier logic? I don't know, but I got to like 400 or 500. I don't know. It's like, people hit a card like that. You're like, wow, that's a pretty rare card. And then you kind of get deflated.
Yeah, I wanted to point out, we got a comment here from a former major leaguer, so I wanted to just share his insight. This is Mike Bassick here, and he says he asked Wyatt Langford and Evan Carter. He works for the Rangers. He does their radio. How many cards they signed for Topps their rookie year? Both said it was well over 20,000.
Holy cow!
I don't doubt that at all. But man,
that's crazy.
It's just a lot.
And how much do they get paid per auto?
That's a great follow-up question, Mike. Did they tell you what they got paid per auto? I would love to know that.
It's like $5.
If you can get that range nice and tight, then you'd be able to take all the products that they had autographs in, which for some of these guys was like more than 10, more than 20, up like the 55 or so top sets. And then you could try to back into like the base autos printed in each set. That'd be a fun exercise.
You like these Crusades? Sorry.
No, good.
If you were going to say something related to that, go ahead, Chris.
I was not.
Okay. Do you like Crusades? Have you seen these?
I mean, the wars or the cards? No, I really, these don't really do much for me.
Okay. They're kind of Finasty vibe to me. Like I can
see that.
They're all right. I actually had the I had a box of 98 Donruss baseball once, where like the hit were the Crusades and like the Crusade Reds or whatever parallels.
Did you rip it?
I think
I ended up just selling it.
Okay. Ty, I want to show a card if you don't mind. Can I have the screen for a sec?
Yes, sir. I will stop sharing.
All right. I want to know what you guys think about this card in particular, and also just in general, this person's hobby. What am I doing? Sorry. I saw this up here. I didn't realize it was an 8 at first, but it is. So this is a Bryce Harper first Bowman Chrome Auto, sitting at 625 in a PSA 8. But Dombrowski has said his own GM has kind of said some not great things about Bryce Harper this fall.
Yeah.
And there was obviously kind of a fake rumor about him getting traded, but I don't know. Did the Phillies window just close? What do you guys think of the Harper market right now? Because that's 3 straight years of him not being what we expect in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it should hurt it a little bit because with the way I view it, playoffs are a very, very small component of players' hobby appeal, collectability, fandom too, if you want to take it out of baseball cards. But with Harper, it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
people expect him to contribute more in the playoffs, right? We probably won't see another MVP happen from him. Could still happen. He has 2 already, and he's bound to put up those outlier seasons, I guess, for himself. And maybe he has 1 more left in him where he stays healthy and he stays consistent enough to do that. With Ohtani in the league, I don't know. It could happen. But yeah, Harper, I think he stays on the Phillies. I think they shred. Can they get Castellanos off the contract, off the books? Is he done? Or
no? He's got 1 more year.
So Schwarber's done, unfortunately, which sucks as a Phillies fan. It doesn't look like he's going to come back. His body language in the with the media after that last game about how he likes it so much, he's developed so many friendships. He was borderline tearing up. Felt bad for the guy, but it doesn't look likely. Zach Wheeler, if he had stayed healthy, things could be a little bit different with like their short-term outlook, like next 1 to 2 years. But this injury he's dealing with, like this isn't good. Most guys don't come back from this and pitch to that anything close to that same level.
Yeah, I wonder about the Phillies and I wonder about Bryce Harper. But yeah, they have a lot of money. Like they're a big market. Their owner spends money. But can they keep Schwarber and Ranger Suarez? Someone's going to offer Ranger Suarez $100 million. And I don't know if the Phillies can match that and keep Schwarber, who just hit 50 home runs in his walk year. And if one of those 2 guys leave and Wheeler can't come back, that team takes a huge step back. And maybe I'm just being hopeful as a admitted Braves fan here, but I don't know. I think their window closed. And maybe Harper's hobby window has also dimmed a bit. So the initial extended bidding should be just about over. Yeah, we have so this is now in the 5-minute second window. So yeah. Things are starting to get real out there, guys. If you're bidding on any of this stuff, which I know Ty is based on how serious his face is right now. I'm sure
I'm bidding on a different card that a friend just sent me.
Oh, nice.
And it's actually a football card, but
Curator cardboard with some pretty harsh words here for Harper. Yeah, I think what Phil was saying, I agree. I think he's one of those guys that the playoffs were a bigger part of his hobby than they are for most people. And if they don't get back there, I think it hurts him because he doesn't put up the huge. He's not hitting 40 home runs a year. He's not even hitting 30 home runs a year. Yeah. He hasn't knocked in 100 runs since 2019.
Yeah.
I think he ages well. I think there's going to be injuries here and there based on how he plays. I think he ages well and plays longer than most players. So there's that, but there's nothing scientific there. That's just like my hunch.
Yeah. I thought Freddie Freeman was going to age really well, but he's looked, as I said before, he's looked a bit old the last couple of months. Destined for Caitness broke my brain. Mm-hmm. If Verlander, Morton, Kershaw, and Scherzer are all done, if they all retire, the new active leader in innings pitched is Jose Quintana. That can't be. Like the league has to bring someone back, right? To prevent him from being
Where's that Grinky when you need him?
All right. All right. Let me take this card down. We should take a look at can someone pull up the Ohtani card? I want to see if anyone's bid on that.
Yep. I can pull it up.
Okay. Sorted by, highest cost or price.
I can't stop thinking about Jose Quintana now.
Yep. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, that jumped quite a bit.
So we're up at 27 and change. 27.
It is a 1-of-1.
Yeah.
And it is
Sure.
Shohei Ohtani. And it's Dynasty.
And it's the World Series. And
Yeah, is there any? Some people are talking about Scooble in the chat now. Is there any Scooble cards in this auction? Ty?
good question. Good question. Yeah, I was gonna start.
And follow up question. I'll ask Phil first because I know you're typing that up. Phil, do you think Scooble gets traded?
La 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 la.
Geez, it's a crappy situation as a non-Tigers fan, a fan of baseball.
Yep.
The Tigers like really need him. But
Yeah.
it doesn't look like they're going to be able to commit the resources, whether that's like the ability or the willingness. You could make the argument, there, but I could see him getting moved, unfortunately. And the return would have to be huge. So they better ask for everything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's 1 year. It's 1 year of Scooble, and it's a rental.
That's
How
true.
big can they? What can they get?
Different than the Juan Soto situation where it was like a year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I hope he stays, and I hope that owner just opens up the checkbook because they've got money in Detroit.
Yeah.
Come on, they can't lose this guy. They can't.
I will. Yeah, I'd be so bummed.
We want to see the Ohtani heritage.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ty, the Ohtani Redding.
I got you here.
Oh, I think this just bumped up again, didn't it?
Wait, why am I not? There's a red ink.
Yeah.
Why is
Unless maybe it didn't at this point, it would need another bid. So maybe it didn't.
So it's done. It's sold.
No, it would still show up in here.
Yeah, but it might.
84,000. So the final.
So it didn't get another bid. Yeah. So at 70 grand plus the buyer's premium. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, that it didn't go any higher. I think we can all accept that.
What? Why didn't I? Oh, I'm on a different tab. Why can't I find it?
You have to go under ended or sold.
It's like, results or.
But this one shows up.
Oh. All right. Well, hold on. Let me grab it.
It's sold.
What am I doing?
Where's
our viewers? We're working on some technical.
where's the ended filter? And let's see. By the way, just an important PSA for anybody who doesn't know how to watch an item. Just go ahead and click the little heart.
No, just bid on it. Bid to watch.
Click on that.
Oh, Lord.
Sold, I guess.
I mean, that's just some insane stuff, right? I mean, what an idiot.
What? I still don't find it when I search.
All right, forget about it. It's 84,000. You guys can trust us with buyers.
How do you know that? How did you find it?
Okay. Yep.
You just had it open?
I clicked on
I had an old window open and I just clicked on the card because it was there in front of me.
Super weird. It's just a timing thing.
Cardaholic got the card. Congratulations.
Oh,
sir.
hey, nice buy, buddy. Nice. Well done. Wait, Phil, can you pull it up so we can see it? Can you share?
I could have done that like 2 minutes ago if I was a nice guy. I would have already done that. Yes, I'll do that right now.
All right, that's okay. Oh, wait a second.
Right here.
What? Okay. So that one's done.
Bang.
I'm telling you, blue Bowman Chrome Auto refractor. It's got to be like somewhere close to that, in my opinion. It was a year ago. Now I know it wasn't in April or in May, but I think the Bowman Chrome Autos got off to a hot start right around like March, April, and it took the rest of the regular season for the other rookie autograph stuff to catch up, like the Topps Chrome, Topps Finest, Topps Heritage, Topps Sapphire. I think I don't think it's that I don't think it's that much of an outlier price if you compare it to where it stood versus Bowman Chrome Auto stuff a year and a half ago. So that's my opinion. Could be wrong, but and then there's 10 auto for me, huge premium on that. I would put for Heritage. That's like the most stunning part of the card, the most important part of the card. It's what differentiates it from a lot of other cards. Whether it's like Ohtani, Soto's got issues with his autograph from this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's do you prefer this pose or do you prefer the one from Heritage High Number, which is he's not swinging, but he has a bat on his shoulder. So it's not really an athletic pose, but it is, you know, hitting connotation. You know, it's holding a bat. And I guess, you know, we'll see where the next equivalent version, if there is one at some point, be just 9.5 auto 10, where that one goes for.
There is a PSA 9 blue up at Golden right now that ends in like a week. I think with buyer's premium, that thing's sitting at like 67, and it's a PSA 9. So I don't know. I don't know where that goes. I will say this red ink, like I think it gets a bonus because Ohtani's jersey is white and red, and it just jumps off. Like the Mookie Betts 2014, he's wearing a red jersey, and I don't know why they chose that, because the auto gets lost. Whereas this Ohtani, that auto really stands out.
Yep.
Ooh, this Dynasty's another bid. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is up to 30 almost after buyer's premium. So yeah, we were low on that, but I mean, you can't.
No, you were low. I said 30.
We were low. It's hard to bet against Dynasty, guys. Like, it's just growing in popularity amongst baseball relative to other sets. It just is. So, and it's no different with Ohtani. It's no different than Aaron Judge, who just had a card go for, I believe, over 30, 40-ish, BGS 10 of like his home run derby / all-star game patch, where he won the home run derby that year. That and a BGS 10 sold for like 40K, I think. Golden auction that ended yesterday, I think. Okay, so next most expensive, we've got the Flawless. This one is a Ruby, and it's out of 20. And these are beautiful cards, other than, you know, them not being licensed. They did a great job with these. And this is on card autograph. Oh, yeah. It's coming off the card, so it's not a 10 auto in PSA standards, but nice patch of what appears to be the N, which is nice that when you can discern that letter, that makes a big difference in like value, in my opinion.
I totally agree. Yeah. Compare this to that Soto with what looks like an R. It doesn't make any sense.
That was one Soto Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, a bunch of stuff has ended. That X Factor didn't move again. I think that ended at 66. Ooh, did that Mookie Betts end?
Mookie Betts at 6,500 right now, going strong.
Oh, for 46 seconds. Let's click. Can you click on that one? Let's see if anyone bids. Let's get a bid needed to extend the item.
All this timer stuff, I don't understand any of it. So I think it'll go longer for 4.5 minutes, but
okay. Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, like if you bid on any individual item, that particular item adds another 5-minute round, and then it goes down to 1 minute. In the premieres, if any of the cards get a bid, then it starts again.
Got it. Okay. This is a real timer, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, that's a real timer. Man. Right. One other card, did that Guerrero sell? Did we get a final on the gold Guerrero?
That Bonds card, 6,000 now. Was it that high before?
That's a big one.
No, I think it was like 4 when we were looking at it before.
Yeah, it was 4.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Vlad's done. So that gold Bowman Chrome auto refractor of him has sold. The Caminero Pearl that we were talking about, 37.20, including buyer's premium. So that one's done.
Okay.
Does that have a graded autograph on the back? They probably don't do that anymore, or they don't do that often, I'm guessing. So that's probably just a non-auto grade. You got the booklet, Skeens and Dylan Cruz, 2880, 1 of 1 from 2025 Topps Tier 1.
I don't even understand those words. Why can't I find the? I'm trying to find the Guerrero gold, and I don't know. It's gone.
They like disappear right after they end.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Like it's in my watch list even, and I can't pull it up.
Oh, really?
Oh wow, Robert M. I don't know if I agree about. I can't say I agree. Mookie will be easily forgotten when he retires. I don't think so. We're looking at a guy who could very easily win 6 World Series.
He won't be by baseball fans, like real baseball fans. But he's kind of already like forgot. He doesn't get the hype. He just doesn't get the hype that a lot of other players do.
Well, I mean, ask people that bowl. They know. They understand. He's just. I mean, I also think he's got a lot left in the tank. I'm hoping. I cross my fingers. He's back in right field next year, and he puts the weight back on. He can hit again. That'd be great. but we'll see.
I'm gonna steal the screen quick, Phil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. No.
That's not it.
It's definitely not it. If that was it, I'd be really upset.
I'm not gonna be able to find this. Yeah.
This is a
take
pretty good price for this card so far.
Was
Still
that done?
going.
Oh, still going?
Still going. So this is that, dude.
I think someone in our chat was bidding on this, so they're probably getting upset. We're showing it. I think it's an awesome card.
I mean, I thought about it honestly, but like I was just looking at the last few sales of it. I don't know. It's a good card. That's not it, but both of these. I know you like this one too, Chris. But
oh yeah, Jeff doesn't like that one as much. But it's the shuffle.
I like
card
them both.
is a badass card.
I like them both. I'd like to have them next to each other.
Well, yeah, we'll tie the chest pump is against the Brewers, so I think that's why Jeff doesn't like it.
I gotcha. Do you like this set, the man?
Yeah, these look great. I like these.
Yeah. All right, so here's one.
That's a really weird camera shot. Like we're like giving a proctological exam to Mark McGwire right there. It seems unnecessary.
On McGwire.
Yeah, like that. I mean, what are we doing?
The man. I mean, yeah. I got the little bat drop here. This is your platinum medallion.
What part of his body are you looking at, Chris?
The Chipper Jones? I'm trying to look at his forearm, but I'm not succeeding.
What about this set? We got a Chipper and we got a Maddox. Does this do anything for you?
No, Maddox has some cool cards, but not that one.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm a fan.
Luis Pena.
Oh, sorry, Jay or Seth. I hope you win that card. Yeah, that show. Oh, yeah. You know what? I won't say anything else about it.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
What do you guys think of the Helix?
I like the geode ones. I don't know what that a Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, the crystallized are better than the Helix.
I like those better. I think those look in hand. Those look incredible.
Yeah, I think so too. They're a lot cooler than the Helix, in my opinion.
And Judge looks crazy skinny in that card.
He does.
I didn't recognize that as Aaron Judge until I saw the slab.
You got to be like realistic with some of these inserts. Compare what we have now versus what we had 3 years ago in Topps Chrome Update. So the Helix, I mean, huge upgrade. Obviously, Celebration way nicer, and then the one that I called, this looks like the amethyst, rock, which it looked like that in the first scan, but it's way nicer than that. The what were those inserts called for Bowman that we were just talking about? We brought one up earlier. Crystallized. Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah, those are sweet. Some people really like these. They don't. It's not my jam, but some people really like the Ultraviolet All Stars.
That's one where Bonds had a 1-of-1 auto with his full signature.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think a lot over the last month.
I've never even seen this before. I don't really know what to make of that design. It's okay. It's interesting. Scott would like this. Scott would love this one. I bet.
I'm bouncing around. Which one were we? What are we looking at?
I was just looking at this Topps Project 70. Scott likes anything that looks Halloween-ish.
You know what's weird? I was expecting to see something about his Halloween houses. Now that we're in October, I've heard nothing.
That's true. He hasn't said anything about it.
I want to share a card, actually, a 90s card. So, Ty, can I have the screen, or Phil, can I have the screen? Okay. So I know this might not be the best looking, but I remember this set. This is like the last year that I ripped packs. It was 1997. This is a pack pulled Derek Jeter, like on card auto, and I guess it's his technically like. I mean, 96 was his rookie year, but he had cards in 93, so this is his 5th year. But I think this card is really cool. They didn't do anything. They didn't create an auto box, so his auto is just on it. But you can see it has the stamp over here, the Topps Authentic. I think this card's great. I'm shocked to see it sit at like $390.
Anytime you get that 90s chromium stock without the refraction, it doesn't move the needle for me.
That's true.
These don't for me.
But I don't know how many autos there are. I don't think these are numbered, but I mean, this is like an early pack pulled on card Jeter auto out of a top set. I'm surprised. I'd see it just bumped up. Maybe someone's listening. I don't know. There's
no fees able to pay with your credit card. You just pay with your. I mean, I'll say that with a caveat. I think if you're bidding in the premier auction or perhaps above a certain price threshold, you probably have to at least have pre-approval with them. They'll do a credit check.
Yeah, you'll want often they'll need like a copy of some sort of like bank statement that shows you have the funds. And what I've had to pay 3% for the auctions that I've won through, I think, Fanatics as well as Golden, if you use a credit card. But yeah, the wire is like the standard way to pay. What are the two different wires, right? There's the ACH.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what the difference is. If I'm,
they're all digital payments, electronic payments.
Ooh,
it's just the technology behind them, basically, but it's more or less.
There's some stuff still getting bids here. We talked about McGwire a little bit earlier. Here's his. I'm going to throw this one up on the screen here real quick. I know this. I think this is just going before what Phil said my cutoff was, but here's his 85 Topps Tiffany. It's a stupid description. I never understood the qualifiers. So it's like a mint 9, but it isn't because it's off centered. So it's a 7. Yeah. I never understood the why they would do that. It's very confusing. But imagine buying a factory set of this and you open it up and you start looking at the cards and they're all off centered like this. It's got to just be such a kick to the gut. But also not surprising, I guess.
I bought a case of 89 Donruss. So, not the same as 85 Topps, or Tiffany of any kind. But 89 Donruss, if you buy a case of that, the cases come with 20 hobby boxes, which are like 36 packs of like 15 cards each, I think. And then you get like the puzzle pieces. Are those? Was that 1990 or 1989? I forget.
No, they're all throughout Donruss. But yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, and the first couple hobby boxes, I noticed the Griffies that I was pulling had the exact same like chipping or whiting on the corners. So like I'm like, okay, like these are all starting off as 7s. So I'm like, I can't, like, this wasn't fun. I thought I'd be able to like pull all these Griffies out and send them for grading. I'd get like a few 9s, a few 8s, a few 7s, and maybe like 110, and it would pay for the entire case. But no, not that easy.
No. I maintain the 89 Donruss Tom Gordon is the single most printed card in all of the 1980s baseball. I have not had one person. Let me start again. I've had about 50 people at least in the last 5 years, probably more, tell me they have a collection of baseball cards they think is worth something from their childhood. Can I look at it? And in the first box, there has been an 89 Donruss Tom Gordon in every single person's possession. They're like, yeah, that guy was great. Played for the Yankees and the Red Sox. I'm like, no. Jeff and I opened up some wax boxes of 89 Donruss at this bar near us years ago. And I swear to God, every rated rookie, like it was 3 Tom Gordons per box. Everyone else was 1 or 2, always 3 Tom Gordons. Stephen King would be very happy.
Yeah, with Bonds, it's been tough for me. I haven't looked too hard, but his stuff, everybody knows the secret's out, right? He's not more expensive than Ken Griffey Jr., but he's certainly narrowing the gap. And over the last year, especially, there's been a big run on Bonds, probably for various reasons. So for me, I probably won't look again seriously. Well, I'll look here and there. I mean, because he's one of the guys I'm going after always. But I'll be looking forward to the next. It used to be called the New Era Committee. Now, what is it called?
I know what you mean. I'm not sure what the verbiage is or the wording is, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like every 2 or 4 years. Like when he doesn't get in that time, then I'll want to buy like the next month. Maybe some people are selling that were banking on him getting in. That's not my thesis. I don't really need him to get in or want him to get in per se. I want him to be a scapegoat. So, and I think that's led to ultimately a lot of this appreciation. But I also maybe would wait for another Aaron Judge 200 OPS plus season, because then it'll be like, oh, let's compare him to Bonds one more time. And it keeps Bonds relevant.
Sure.
So,
especially if Judge can do it at age 34, which I mean, I'm not betting against him, but I'm not betting on him either. Do you guys think Bonds would be good? Like when you watch these playoff games on Fox, like they have A-Rod and David Ortiz and Derek Jeter. And like, I don't know what Ortiz is saying half the time, but he's got so much energy. He is just a delight. And as I hate A-Rod, I can't look at his stupid face. Jeter has the personality of a rock. I want to hear what he has to say because he's got some experience, but it just puts me to sleep immediately. If you were to take Barry Bonds and put him at that desk instead of Jeter, like, do you think he'd be good at that? Would he want to do that?
He's kind of surly. I don't know if he would.
I would love the surliness, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be great.
And there's clearly no standards for who they take. I mean, Pete Rose, A-Rod. So Barry Bonds would be open with welcome. Like, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
open arms, welcome with open arms. So Mookie sold for 8,400. This is interesting. So I do like the green. I do like it in a PSA 10, especially.
Oh yeah.
In the auto, Scott said he didn't like it. I did find the auto okay. My issue is that like you could have paid a little bit more to go for a gold, right?
Ooh.
Like aren't golds like 14, 15 for bets? Not a PSA 10.
No,
Would be
definitely not a
decided,
PSA
right?
10.
So it's a different ballpark there, but I think it's still a good buy. I do, because to buy a blue in a PSA 10, you're paying way more than 8,400, right? You're paying closer to like 10, 11 maybe.
I think so. Yeah, in a PSA 10 especially. I mean, the pops, we mentioned it before, the pops are so small.
Yeah. So you're getting that nice discount versus a blue, which is what you want. So maybe it's fair game. 8,400. It's liquid because it's a PSA 10. There's a lot of like BJS 9s out there of the green. Really poor centering too, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
This one's gonna be easy to move if you need to.
Yeah, I was trying to just get over to it, but it's just, we both know I'm not going to be able to. So,
yeah, best cards of Bonds. 87 O-Pee-Chee is a big one. It's more rare, I think, than the 86 Topps Tiffany, especially in those high grades. So 87 O-Pee-Chee, a lot of people would say is like his top rookie card, right? And to be fair, the 86 Topps is an XRC, so it's not really a true rookie card, even though it's treated as one.
I don't know.
But it looks just like 87 O-Pee-Chee. Like it wouldn't do anything for Chris, but it looks just like the 87 Topps, right? So
oh, yeah.
Wouldn't go for that. And you wouldn't go for the Tiffany version because the 86 Tiffany one is the one that most people would go after. So
yeah, I mean, they're both, I remember both of those, obviously, but I still like that Johnny Ray one. I don't know how much that went for. I'm sure it's done by now. No, if I'm going to go after a Bonds card, I want the 86 Tiffany one. That's definitely the one. I want something high grade, and then there's part of me that's going to want to crack it out and get him to sign it. I don't know how many of those have been graded by PSA, but that the pop has to be fairly low. Someone said the Bonds would get into an argument on that stage in 5 minutes, and it would be must-see TV. Absolutely. I want to watch Bonds and David Ortiz argue about something. Like that sounds like it would be really entertaining.
Did you hear David Ortiz talking about how the like customs people at the airport greeted him in Toronto and were like, "Duh, Yankees lose."
That's awesome. Yeah, he and Vlad Jr. doing that was great. I mean, I hopefully no Yankee fans are watching it at that point, but I thought that was great. Right in Jeter and A-Rod's face is pretty.
Yeah, it is the best part about it is that you have those guys all on the same panel. Wow. Oh, it just ended. I kept going back to it. Yeah, 31,800. Yeah, I was close.
I mean, if you look at what you can buy with Ohtani right now for under that, there's probably a very small list of
not
stuff
much.
you prefer.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Like,
jeez.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, hype is hype, right?
Is there even hype? I don't know. That's crazy.
Oh, all right. This is exciting. Someone in our chat won a card. So congrats to Jay Eartheth. He won that Toto Shuffle.
Great.
Awesome. I'm glad we didn't cost you any money there.
I'm glad I didn't bid on it and bid you up. I almost did. I almost threw one bid increment just to roll the dice, but that's such a good card.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna get one eventually. I might try to get one in a 9. I'm okay with a 9 with that. The 10's great, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't overprinted. Like there just aren't a ton of those cards.
No. Oh, I might go for the X Fractor.
I almost like the refractors better. I feel like you can see
the Ohtani. Well, I have the.
I know you've got that Ohtani X Fractor, right?
I got the Ohtani X Fractor.
Oh, yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
Gosh, that set is just all time.
Mm-hmm. It is. Imagine sitting on like a dozen unopened boxes of that.
No.
That's got to be a good feeling.
I wouldn't be.
Right?
It'd be opened.
I've got some boxes. I have some hobby boxes. I've got some blasters.
I bought a box of that just sealed like 2 years ago. Somehow I think Jeff as like Jeff, my boss, as like a employee rewards gave all of us like $100 to whatnot or something on our accounts. And I went on there and bought a box of that with my credit, and then like that didn't ship for like 3 days, and then the seller just canceled it, and I was so mad.
Yeah, I bet Phil sent a message saying he'd give him $30 more for it.
Probably some dealer net deal.
Right? No, that was my favorite box to open back when you can get them for like $250 or less, and then they blew up.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you find things that are just mispriced. And it wasn't me; it was a good friend of mine. His name's Scott, different than Scotty B. And he was asking me some reason why he couldn't transact directly. I forget why, but he's like, "Hey, can you buy another like case?" And I'm like, and I'm noticing, I'm like, you're paying like 155 for these things. I mean, they're going for 200 on eBay at the time, right? This is before they blew up. Before that guy that you know, Chris. That started to really like hoard and buy the boxes and do the best thing with them as a sealed holder of that product. You want people not just to buy it and hoard it with you, but you want them to open it to really take down that end supply of what's really out there.
No, he was chewing through it like crazy.
Organic, price growth that way. So
I think
I'd probably buy it for
oh boy, here we go.
I'd probably spend like $350 on it. You know, and I know it would cost more to buy it for most people. So, but as a reseller, I'm always trying to get things a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I would actually like to buy a box just to hold, but I just don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do it because I'll have a couple of drinks one night, have one drink too many, and that box is going down. Like it would have to be locked away and under someone else's supervision. I know myself too well. Okay.
Oh, nice. Mizorowski Blue. Was pulled for my product. Very sweet.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, this finished pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, it looks awesome though.
That's a sick card.
All right.
Are you guys worried about like Bitcoin prices at all? And like all that stuff and the stock market? Like if Bitcoin was to like crash and go to like 60,000 or even lower. A lot of people think like, oh, 4-year cycle, it usually like goes down even more than that. Do you think that you guys worried about like the effect it might have on the money that's being afforded to people right now to like make some of these purchasing decisions with these cards, or yes and no?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a sense of how many people are putting their Bitcoin money into cards or what.
Yeah, and the markets don't always move like 1-to-1 at the same time. And we saw that because Bitcoin was going up hard, fast, and earlier than baseball cards, and the rest of sports cards rebounded. So, yeah, that's Pokemon, it's definitely more connected with Pokemon. So that's why I was asking these guys, is like a maybe Pokemon. It seems like that would those markets move together.
I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I don't own it. I don't look at it. I have no idea what it transacts. I don't know.
Yeah.
That is not a oh boy, DJ Local. It's oh boy.
Top Shot's making a comeback.
If it wasn't Top Shot, it would probably be a meme coin. So maybe the end result's the same. Just kidding, DJ Local. But yeah, Top Shot was like the hottest thing for a period of like 3 months, and that was right in the middle of the pandemic madness. It was like 2021, wasn't it? Like January, February, March. People that bought in like earlier 10x'd. And then if you bought in like February, you 5x'd. And if you bought in March, you 2x'd. And then everything just collapsed.
I mean, the way you're describing it, that sounds like the correct path, like the sort of logical flow to it, right?
Yeah.
That's unsustainable, that chart that you're...
Yeah, don't think about it as like people that are using Bitcoin or crypto, like are taking those profits and moving it into cards. Think of it as like the availability of just slush money and like people having stupid money to do stupid things. So it might be more than just like a Bitcoin crash. It would have to be like a crash in like the stock market, unemployment going up, inflation coming back up, stuff like that. Maybe that's what would really like those compounding effects would probably hurt cards more than just Bitcoin doing its thing. But
I mean, I think all those effects would hurt everything. Everything you described would be terrible, would be bad and it's, I don't know.
What we've learned though from the pandemic, and you can't just think like these markets will move and be 100% correlated or anything even close. Like what we saw during 2020. Like stock markets got like smoked, and then the cards were on the rise before the stock market even started to rebound. Like cards never even skipped a beat. So there's a variety of factors, I guess. It's like my friend was trying to tell me back in like 2012 that buying a house wasn't a good investment because he's like, well, interest rates, Phil, are already really low. Do you think they can really go lower? Because you know what happens when they go up. When interest rates go up, house values go down. Well, yes, but no. There are a variety of factors that go into real estate values and as an investment, and it's not just interest rates. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up soon, guys.
Yeah. There's actually, I just saw right before we take off. There's one Ohtani still going.
I just won my card that I was bidding on too.
Oh well, you got to show us what that was.
I'll show you what it was.
But yeah, look at this.
I'm very excited about it.
Look at this nice, clean looking Bowman Chrome refractor hitting image with the Dodgers. First Dodgers Bowman Chrome. That's a mouthful. Yeah, this is looking at a 5-figure card here very, very shortly. I don't know. I'm not buying this card for $10,000. Phil, what do you think?
One of the last like the last big like sports card market boom, it was the Lakers rookies of LeBron that were going nuts, and those got destroyed. So different player, different time, but like similar situation. I would just be worried about overpaying for Dodgers stuff. Like if you have a lot of Ohtani, try to diversify, right? Don't just go for the Dodgers stuff, even if you're a Dodgers fan. Try to get some rookies, get some second-year stuff. Don't go too hard on Dodgers is what I'd say. So.
Yes, I would totally agree because there's going to be 8 more years of it, 8.5 more years of this at minimum. First ones are fun, but they're only fun at first. Someone was asking me, oh, go ahead, Phil.
Did somebody say, oh, it was just jump somebody said, but they were talking about something else, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, someone was asking if any of those Keston Hiras ended. I'm curious if Jeff won them. I will have to wait to find out. But Ty, what card did you win? Show us that, and then we'll wrap up.
All right, I'll show you here.
We'll stop you there. Hold on.
I'm going to show you one. First, I'll just show you. This is unrelated, but this is one of my favorite non-baseball vintage cards. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but I just love this card. They're so cool. Jack Johnson.
That is actually really cool.
Great artwork, but this is the card. Probably won't mean anything much to you, but this is the card I just won. And it is a 1 of 1. It does not have an RC badge because it's technically an insert. So I guess they didn't put it on there, but it is his rookie year. And this is just one of his best cards, period. So this guy
like this guy. You've been buying Priest Holmes cards, haven't you?
This is Jamal Charles.
Is it?
So they went from Priest Holmes to Larry Johnson to Jamal Charles in a pretty crazy lineage of 3 consecutive running backs. And yeah, so I actually just sent a whole bunch of stuff to Fanatics Collect to sell. I'm going to put it on their just fixed price marketplace at first, and then I'll probably like slowly auction some things. I do have some Stadium Club image variations and some other stuff that I'm going to be putting up there. So maybe I can talk about those cards sometime on an episode, but I'm going to be curious to see. So I sent, it was a pretty significant shipment. It was my first time using USPS registered mail. So I did registered mail, which is like full chain of custody all the way there. It takes longer to get it, but I was like, how do I make sure this package gets there and doesn't get lost?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to get some kind of peace of mind when you drop that off.
I didn't feel like flying to Oregon, and I hope that doesn't bite me in the butt.
Nope. All right. Phil, do you want to share that? Ooh. Oh. This is totally unrelated to cards, but Curator just asked a question of me, and I kind of want to answer him. Currently, no, I am not necessarily chasing anything. I am trying. If you know of a place that like sort of does autos of actors and directors and stuff, I would love to know. I have a hard time finding any of that stuff. Someone sent me, Ian McKellen was doing a mail-in auto signing, and it wasn't that expensive. And I have some cool Lord of the Rings stuff I wanted him to, but I missed it. Like I didn't quite get the deadline there, so I was bummed. But yeah, if you know of any signings like that are coming up, please let me know, curator.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know the selling fees offhand? Collect.
So yeah, I mean their BP is 20% for auction. So like depending on the card you sell, they'll give you some portion of that. They also have like agents, I don't know what you call them, like affiliates who you can go through, like the Wharf Sports Cards on Instagram, and they can actually get you like better fees and go through them if it's, you know, larger cards. And then their fixed price marketplace, it's low. It's like 5 to 7% if you're like within their fair market value range, whenever they determine using Card Ladder's bogus predicted values. And then if you're over their fair market value, then it will it's like 15% or something like eBay. So it's similar.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I sold something that was in stored in vault on Fanatics Collect somewhat recently, and because it was in like the good value range, I paid I think 6% in fees on like a $7,500 sale, something like that.
It's not bad at all.
If you send something to auction, you can negotiate down the buyer's premium from the typical 20%. The buyer will still pay the 20%. You'll just be able to recoup.
You get a portion of it.
So as like the seller, you take that final all-in price, and then maybe it's like 90-ish%, 95% even, depending on the card. If it's like over a certain range, like upper, high end, right, Chris? You might know more about this than me.
I don't know. I sent 2 cards in to Fanatics Collect for auction. One was in a weekly, and there were no seller fees. We got 100% of the hammer price, and then we split the buyer's premium. And the same thing, I got the same deal for the Fanatics, the Premier auction. I don't know what it is for. I think what Ty was saying is if you're listing cards for sale versus auction, that's the percentage you guys are talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you just submit something that's probably lower end.
Yeah, I'm sure the lower end stuff has
auction,
different fees. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably paying closer to like that full 20%. But to your point, like, so in your case, you really only paid 10% because you split the buyer's premium with Fanatics. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Stadium Bodega. I don't need any. Please don't tempt me. I've seen some of these Lord of the Rings cards. I'm trying really hard to avoid them because I don't want to. There's like that meme from Community, which Ty, you might have seen. Phil, probably not you, where the principal of the university is like, "Oh, I hope this doesn't awaken something in me." And that's what I worry about when I see Lord of the Rings cards with auto.
Yeah.
I get concerned.
I won something tonight. Not a card, but a box of wax. 13 update jumbo from eBay for like $203 with like $10 shipping. So not too much over the regular hobby box for
awesome.
50% more cards. So
okay, before we go, I'm sorry.
Arenado, not hot, but all right, go ahead.
Yeah, but Arenado's in there. Isn't Machado in there too?
No, not an update, but Garrett Cole.
No. Okay, 13 wax question. Aren't all the SSPs in update? So Machado's like black jersey throwing SSP. It's an SSP of Series 1, but isn't it in update wax?
I think there's quite a bit of I don't know that for sure, but okay. I wouldn't be surprised if it was all on update.
Okay, I think we should look at that. Anyway, I was watching this on eBay. This is probably the last thing we're going to talk about. This card is obviously pretty great. It's a fairly special card. The pop is really low. That back top, I think top edge is a nightmare. You guys want to take a guess what this ended at? It was up for bids.
10,000.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. $1,200.
$1,200.
Yeah.
Okay. One of you is really close. The other of you is probably drinking too much tequila. Side note, the owner of this card messaged me on Instagram and asked if I was interested, said he would sell it to me for $7,000 PayPal. And I didn't have it. And I'm like, you know what? I have a raw, and I'm like, it's fine. I don't need the PSA 10. And that's called making a mistake. So this ended tonight for $11,000.
Are you kidding me?
$211.
What?
Pop 3.
What?
Well, because the raws are going for like 35 500, 3,000.
Yeah, the Raws were up over 3. A BGS 9, I think, sold for about 4.
What?
It's the new market, man. Today's prices aren't today's prices.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That might be his coolest card. And the fact that Yamamoto's just pounding a beer in the background, it just gets more valuable because of what he's doing.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing?
Yeah.
There's so many of these, though.
I don't think there's that many.
There's at least 200.
No, definitely less than 200. Absolutely less than. There are 150.
We calculated it on the pack odds.
No way. There's 150 in Series 1. There's no way there's more than that in Series 2. I think it's less. I'd say there's like 120 maybe 100. I think your math was wrong, but we can discuss that on a spitballing maybe.
Load up on Series 2, guys. Just kidding. Really don't. Somebody just said that. I'm going to go buy some Series 2.
Yeah, those jumbo prices still though. I don't know, but this is an awesome card. This price though, this would be, so he, as far as I know, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the highest price ever paid for an SSP that isn't a rookie card. Because his hand on helmet PSA 10 went for like $13K on Fanatics. And now, so this would be the second highest SSP of all time. And this is not a rookie. So as far as I know. But pretty sweet card.
I mean, it's a sweet card, but geez.
I'll tell you guys why wax is not a good investment.
Oh, here we go.
(2008) Topps Heritage High Number Hobby Box. You can find autos of, I believe, Max Scherzer and Kershaw. Maybe Scherzer doesn't have autos, but at least Kershaw. And Scherzer's like rookies and stuff. And yeah. How much do you think this cost me?
Then or now?
Now. I just bought it like a month ago.
It couldn't have been more than $100. $80.
2008? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like $280.
No, see, I don't know anything about wax, Phil. Yeah.
Well, it's still not a lot.
Yeah,
like we'd expect would be like an all-time class or pitchers, but still.
Yeah, I mean. Okay, so yeah, Ty, I'm seeing in the comments here. Curator Cardboard says calculated print runs about 125. Andrew Applebaum says maybe 142. Yeah, Golden, according to Chasing Majors, he did the math and they had it at 125. And people no one's ripping that product. So if they're 125, what percentage do you think feels the air, Phil?
Oh god, I don't know, man. It depends a lot on the rookie class and what they do. Because if they don't do anything, then it's just going to sit on people's warehouses. So
yeah, the SPs like Sam Smith, the guy from Boston who's in AAA, and Matt Shaw, maybe. So the SPs aren't helping for sure.
That still just blows me away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
2018 Topps update. For some reason, Ropestein canceled my auction with him. I think after I had paid, I won a hobby box from him. So, and that went for about $1,250. So the cheapest you're going to find them is in the 1200s right now. You can look anywhere. You might have to pay closer to like 13 to 1400 if you want to go to like Blowout or one of those websites. I think Blowout's actually 1500 right now. After that Ohtani game, the jumbos went up 50%. I think. In price. And like the next morning, I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? And the next day, still wasn't going to do it. But I'm like, oh, wow. The jumbos jumped from like 1,800 to like 2,500 or something like that. So
one of my favorite things the day after that game was hearing people try to come up with equivalents of what Ohtani did in other sports. I thought it was really, really good. It was like if a hockey player scored a hat trick in an elimination game, like in the Stanley Cup semifinals, but he was also the goalie. Like there were some amazing metaphors and analogies that I really enjoyed reading through and trying to understand other sports and how they work. Ooh. Okay. All right. Baseball card in the attic or ball card in the attic. You pull that. You let me know on Instagram, please. I want to see it. Okay. All right, guys. This is
all right.
2+ hours. I'm proud of us.
We had a great turnout.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. This was really fun.
People. Still at 182. Amazing.
Phil, we might have to address this comment before we go.
Yeah. I haven't done the math. Obviously, the stuff inside has gone nuclear. Please don't open it though, because what's going to happen is like the math might look good to you right now, but there's a good chance the sealed stuff goes up higher and the singles fall in price by the time you even like open it and send those cards out for grading, get them for sale, get them through eBay authentication. Well, I guess at that point it's already sold, but yeah, don't open that stuff. Don't open 2018 stuff if you can help yourself. But if you were to, I would open up like 2018 Topps Update blasters. You get those for like under 300 still. That's like a little less than $3 a card, and you can pull not black parallels and not clears, but a lot of the good stuff, a lot of the good image variations, a lot of the good parallels as well from retail.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. Yeah, those the SSPs in 2018 update were printed a lot more. There's at least like 300 of those. Curator Cardboard just mentioned Tim Spooneybarger. It's a name I never thought I would ever hear again. Mike, I'm gonna say Steve Avery did it at least once or twice. I don't know. I'm curious how close you came. If you were a good hitter in high school. Okay. Oh wow. Speak of the devil. Wow.
All right, Chris. I'm gonna leave you with something.
Oh boy.
Bam.
Oh boy. Yeah, he's not the guy I would want though, honestly.
Damn it, Bobby.
No, I would need Viggo Mortensen or Sean Bean would be like the two guys that I think I would, or obviously Ian McKellen. Yeah, that's really cool. I just like that guy. I think he's hilarious. I've seen him in interviews. He's great.
Just tea, thank you. It's caption structure.
All right, Brewers. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, that it's a risk for sure, and especially if there's like fewer cards in the case. So it sucks because I would have already bought so much more if it wasn't for this. But I think prices are suppressed, and I think long-term ceilings of a lot of these products are suppressed because of this risk. And the longer this goes on, the more stuff will get scanned. So what would I do?
Poor Phil.
God, I thought it was like a generational year for wax investing, but now I'm sort of at a crossroads. But also, some of the stuff hasn't gone up a lot, so some of it seems undervalued. And we talked about this on Patreon, but like 18 update hobby boxes should be at like 1,700, even before that Ohtani game, based on how much all the stuff inside increased, right? So I would stick to products that have a lot of cards in them. So like 18 update hobby box, 360 cards. It seems like a lot of work to be able to find those Ohtani cards. They're not going to be thicker. They're not going to have like ink on them. So they're going to be a little bit harder to find. It seems like more work to get to it versus like Dynasty, which is 1 card per box, or stuff that's, like Topps Chrome Jumbo, 35. What's that? Like a $4,000 box right now. If you can find it, maybe closer to like 4,500. 18 Topps Chrome Jumbo, like that is 132 cards, something like that, like 12 cards, 13 packs each. So that might be a little bit easier to like game the system with, and it might be more worth the perpetrator's time to do so. But I do think flagship stuff, I do think it's on the safer end of 18 stuff, especially if you're buying it from a reputable source. He's owned it for a while. When you're buying stuff like this, it's more important to ask for like the lineage, like who owned it before you. And before that, like try to find out that provenance if you can. Yeah. And even that won't completely isolate you from risk, because it could be the person before them. They did something sketchy, or it's annoying. It really sucks, but it's where we're at.
I just wanted to throw a note out there about the Bowman Chrome. Like there's no hitting autos in those boxes. And there are already, I checked a couple days ago, there's 4 Ohtani Reds at PSA. And I think there's like 30 some odd golds at PSA, and some others. Obviously, there's been some crossover with SGC and BGS, but I would say at least 40 plus of golds are out there already. So if you look at the math, I don't think there's a ton of great high end Ohtanis available. Maybe greens and blues probably, but I don't know. John Mayer, I do not have either of those Lego sets. I'm sorry to say, please don't lose respect for me over that, or maybe other people can gain. Well, it'll be an even swap.
All right, gents, let's call it.
Yep. Okay.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Looks like we
Yeah.
might have missed a few comments. So
I'm sure we missed some.
Well, I was trying to go back and trace the last few from viral moments, but interesting stuff. Doing documenting and grading and inconsistency probably, and probably pointing at PSA for a bit of that, it seems. So we'll have to find out what the thread of the conversation is a little bit more by going back a little bit. But yeah, let's call this one a wrap. And if you guys like this format, let us know. We'll do more of these. I don't know if it's going to be every week. I don't know if we'll do it next week, but let us know if you want it to be a recurring thing. And any feedback's welcome.
Yeah, please. Thanks, guys.
Sweet. Thanks. Bye.